I'm here in Montreal, Quebec, of course, here at the Gilles Villeneuve track. Round 9 already, and epic battle so far, of course. Separating the drivers, still a lot to fight for. Of course, our top 4 drivers separated by less than 10 points. So it's still an interesting fight right to this championship. Of course, joining me tonight, as like for the last couple of weeks, is Mr. Devon Ellis, of course, helping me with a dual stream tonight again.
Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's well. But cold this week in Cape Town. Hope it's not as cold where you guys are, all over South Africa. And for our international viewers, good evening as well. If we have international viewers. I think we do have international
viewers. If it was, you say cold in Cape Town, hey, did it hit here? Joburg, oh my word. It was freezing.
I'm going to speak a bit Afrikaans, just bear with me quickly. Het voelt soos as sneeu op die berg is, maar my jelle is bloody koud. Sorry wat vir my Afrikaans, for those that understand.
It is cold.
I think there's snow on the mountain because it's damn cold. But back to racing. Canada. Of course, I'm a 5-time world champion.
Not with a lot of people know what you're about. Of course, a little joke we made on social media earlier today, of course. We simply, if you hitting that wall makes you a champion, that's when Devon decided, as I say, actually responded, said, yeah, then he's a 5-time world champion.
That wall is, I do love this track, I really do. But that wall, yeah, that wall. But anyway, back to racing. Staff's out, got the boy out. Jen starting his flyer now. Some guys out.
No, not so bad. Up on Quinton as well. Like you say, Chen is on a hot lap, Staff on a hot lap, and Carbo on a hot lap, yeah. As well as not Maverick.
I'm on board with Steph, obviously out first. Got the boy close behind him. Let's see what he does on the final straight. And usually I know that the corner names by now. I think I'm slipping tonight.
Oh, and not Sebastian slowing down a bit. Okay, just giving himself a bit of a gap to the car in front, of course. That crazy wolf animal in 111. But then again, he's always be early, one of the first ones to always go out.
Would you want to guess, pardon me, what the lap, the qualifying lap was?
Okay,
was for
pole
last
lap?
year?
No, you're asking me. Not off the top of my head.
A 110.2. So let's see if the guy, but they're already in a 111 though, so I mean Staff just put up a 111.4. So I'm guessing that 110 is going to not last very long tonight.
If it's going to be what we saw the last couple of weeks, then I'm going to say we're probably going to see a 1.9.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say a 1.8, a 1.87. A 1.87. Predictions on pole? I know you like Gav. On there the last 2 weeks, you said Gav will be on pole.
Well, no, 2 weeks ago I'll take credit there, but thank you. I said in the one it's going to be Force, and when Gavin took it right to the end, and then last week I said Gavin, and he actually did. I for a moment thought his teammates going to repay, him with it, but it didn't happen. But it was still a flock front row lockout. So let's repeat this. So far, Force already have a purple first sector and a purple second sector coming through this third sector, now approaching this last chicane, coming into, of course, Wall of Champions. Quinton a 1.99, yeah.
And Force is, I'm just on Force right now, a 110.0. Force goes second fastest.
Yeah, just lost a bit of time there in the last sector.
Who else is out? Springbok Gamers on the outlap. Boinkies, Maverick also on the outlap. Maverick obviously in sector 2, nearly end of sector 2, going to sector 3. but he's got his lap is invalidated. I've got the minimap on
good.
and it's showing red. Let's try the minimap for tonight. Let's see how that works.
Now I like
Not Fernando still in the pit. Voinky starting his flyer at this moment. He's got some traffic though. Yellow flag in sector 1. It looks like his teammate was ahead of him. Oh, it's purple in sector. Was that purple in sector 1?
Carboy 44 is still having issues with internet.
So as it stands, 15 drivers. Each of them gets points if they finish tonight.
Well, just to live standings, well, not live standings, of course, we're not racing yet. Looking at the standing as he's coming into this race, of course, we have Nesmax leading the championship by 2 points. Not Kimi, and Not Kimi 3 points ahead of Not Sebastian, his teammate. Not Sebastian 2 points ahead of Boinkies. So as I said at the start, 4 guys actually split by less than 10 points. Then Gafpick in 5th, who's also not far off. If he can have 2, this race season close next week, if he wins both and it goes pear shaped for the other guys, it puts him pretty much back in the mix as well. So this is definitely not over. As much as the constructors see a bit one-sided, the drivers is still wide open.
Yeah, I mean, what, two races left. Next week we're in Austria.
Yeah, for the season finale. Then there's obviously going to be a little bit of a break thereafter. Then we will continue the Friday thing, still going to do 100% races. Only difference is, of course, by the time we do this again, we're going to be on F128 2020. So everybody's pretty much going to move over to the new game releasing in July. Oh, big moment there for Not Kimi coming out. Luckily he realized he's back in stepping out, and he actually got on the brakes and avoided contact there with a barrier.
I'm driving on board with Gav in sector 2 currently.
Thank you, Quentin. Finally, like I was just about to say, neither of our weathermen, if we can call them that, we normally have 2 of the drivers who supply weather. They were a bit asleep. One of them responded, but was outshined by a newcomer with a more detailed report.
Well, I see here, since we went over to Discord, we'll speak a little bit about that later. Ronald actually posted it in the social chat on Discord.
Yeah, that's something that Ronald do every time. He actually gives a little screen print of a weather report, but it's actually like one of those live things coming actually, what's the weather like there, so I never pay attention to that.
Okay. Thank you for that, Ronald. I see Gav with a 108.9.
It's just adding to the fun. Well, I did say a 108 is on the cards.
I said 108.7, but these guys are.
But luckily, I said 109 definitely. But then again, Gav already a whole second faster than Quentin. Somebody's or just know where to cut corners. We don't know, but yeah, that's fast. As you said earlier, 110 last year. So and this is only Q1. So a low 108, maybe even a 107 when we get to Q3. Because normally it gets faster and faster as quality progresses.
Yeah, 107 does look like it's on the cards now, but I don't even want to speculate anymore. Fastest lap time for the race last year was a 113 flat, set by.
Okay, Devin, I can hear you clearly, but I see some of people, a certain dog complaining that you broadcasting from the moon. Sounds like there's some distance between you and the mic, so just heads up here.
Let me just see if I can just fix that. I'll follow him too.
But as you said earlier, guys, don't worry. Devin is just seeing out his LTE tonight. It's officially from a few days, just waiting for his new package to arrive in. He is all fibered up and ready to go.
Is that better?
I had no problem, so we'll just wait there for Staffy to come back and confirm if he can hear you better.
Well, if Steph could just give me a thumbs up or something,
Yeah,
that would
I'm
be
just
greatly
waiting to
appreciated.
see if he comes back. Sounds like the audio did change a bit as well in the chat as well, so... But of course, doesn't matter to what happens here, it's about those guys out there, can they hear you loud and clear. Okay, yes. It's not a thumbs up, not a thumbs down, just a simple yes.
Oh, thanks,
So
Steph.
you're good. Just like that thing. The guy shooting you, it's nice, and when the guy comes back, a cup of tea is nice. The neighbor's girl next door is nice.
Well, I wouldn't say the neighbor's girl's nice, though. You might get shot for that, or at least smacked.
Of course, 15 drivers on the... Not sure if anybody will join in between qualifying. Of course, they can still join. Only difference is they will start at the back of the grid. So far, 15 drivers. So all 15 will make it through to the next session, which is actually why Staffy retired so early, as some people might think. It's actually not a bad move. He posted, he's pretty much through. Why risk it? Because if you crash out now, your whole session is bugging anyway.
Well, is it really a bad thing? I see Fernando went faster in Sector 2, purple sector for Sector 2. Is it such a bad thing to actually start at the back in Canada, knowing that happen?
No, I still believe doesn't matter. Doesn't matter which track. Last place not necessarily is not a bad place, and I mean there's Staffy as well. Staffy last week, because Staffy also started towards the back and he actually finished strong, 6th place. So, and I mean there is not Sebastian. I think last season where we actually had a very weird race also at Monza, where actually, not Sebastian started through and finished on the podium. So safety cars is going to happen, and I mean, so far every race we pretty much had safety cars. So safety cars bring the grids closer to each other. Then of course there's other factors, guys retiring, guys tripping over each other at the start. So if you just keep your cool, big moment there for not Fernando in the barriers a little bit there. Not sure if he's got some damage. Looks like the end plates are still intact. And of course not the wall of champions, as he said, it's something somewhere completely different. But just of course going back to that, there's so much it can. Of course, if you start at the back, you can actually go for the long strategy as well. But then again, you just need to make sure that you keep it clean. You stay out of trouble while those guys trip. They retire, you actually pick up places, and before you know it, at the end of the race, you're there. Because obviously at the end of the day, it's a 100% race. It's all about endurance. Stay focused.
Yeah.
Don't give up. It ain't over until it's over, and you race right till the end, and that's where you make up your places. And of course, there's all the dreaded penalties as well that can come into play. Of course, a couple of guys picking up time penalties, you keep it clean, you also make another place or two. So don't rule that out.
I don't want to mention last week, but last week, certain driver, just 1 second, 1 penalty less, hands him the win. So obviously keep it clean. Bit difficult if you're pushing, but I suppose just one lapse in concentration or in judgment, cut the corner a little bit too much, and it gives you a 3-second penalty. Obviously harsher under safety car conditions.
Yeah, don't forget that. And every week we see how someone gets caught out with that. Because like you say, it's harsher with a safety car. Yellow flag, whatever penalty can double. I mean, you will see a simple 3-second become a 5-second. And we've even seen penalties of 10 seconds being given out behind the safety car. So, yeah, it's, you can't rule those things out. Just under 3 minutes to go, couple of guys already, as you can see. So done what they did, of course, knowing we're going to get through to the next session. Just make sure they keep clean, because last thing you want to do is crash now, and when your whole qualifying is bugged.
I see not Sebastian just went
third fastest. If they're going to keep us up, it's going to be a Flakker lockout again. But at the end of the day, it's pointless. To say it, I don't want to sound harsh here, but it's pointless getting a nice lockout and when things go pear-shaped in the race. Look, I feel for him. Don't get me wrong, but just for for their own confidence and obviously for the sake of a race for the spectators, I personally feel it's time that Vlakke one of those front row lockouts and stuff, into to a win, and why not a double podium? But yeah, maybe tonight, I don't know. And here comes Rob, and now Rob just have to freaking gooi the icing on my grumpy day. He says, non-captain and Devon, okay, non-Robs, but immediately thereafter, go BPP. What? You're not BPP, they freaking trashed you, they quit you one side, they don't care about you anymore, Rob. When are you going to see that?
I guess we up here have the luxury of commentating on everybody and not just having a favorite driver and a favorite team.
Of course, Rob is one of the guys that confirmed already. He did say he's in for next season, so he will also be making a move over to F1 2020. So for all the RZDV fans, he will be back in action next season.
Yeah, again, F1 2020 out the 10th of July. So
we probably will give it a week or so after that. So maybe, look, if everything goes well, maybe even the next week after. But otherwise, that's about the latest 2 weeks after the release date. But of course, we will confirm dates.
If you obviously do want to get in contact with DNB, get through it on Twitter.
Please,
well.
Yeah. Devin, you said you could talk about it later, so please, by all means, go ahead, give it details.
So Twitter and Twitch, I'm not sure what if the Twitch stream is going to change. I mean, they don't always want to see my face on the Twitch stream, but there might be some improvements to the stream. I don't know. Do we sign contracts over here to set up in the comments box? But well, Captain and I confirmed earlier that we will be doing the commentary for 2020 together.
Yeah, so Devin will join me. So I will, luckily, like in the last couple of weeks, which has been awesome to have extra voice. I mean, especially with a 100% race. Well, must say the bug actually has bitten Devin, so Devin will be joining me in the comms box for the first of F1 2020.
Yeah, and if I can remember, you said earlier something about my fiber being installed here. So my fiber line is installed. The router's coming tomorrow, so hopefully no more issues like last week pops up.
Hey. But yeah, it's actually so far so good. I don't want to jinx it. We all know about the commentator's curse. But so far so good tonight. But yeah, last night. So let's give it a proper send-off. And then on comes fiber. Yeah. And I see then looks like I'll be getting mine on the 7th. So it looks like, Rob is just, I think he's still talking about the game there. So yeah, so Rob is in. He confirmed. Still a couple of guys that I'm still waiting for. Of course, even that Mad Dog staff, he confirmed he's in. Of course, just have to get the game. And of course, it's just about that early release or whatever. So once everybody's got that game, they will probably just fall in and continue. So we will have our first season pretty much as the whole, call it the rookie season if you want. Obviously the new calendars. Well, of course, there's still a couple of guys to confirm if they're in or out. And of course, we're voting at the moment because a lot of guys want to do the multiplayer cars again. Of course, I assume 2020 will still have multiplayer cars. I don't see that big of a difference between the two. Otherwise, we're going to do F1 cars, but it all depends on the votes. That's up to the drivers. Not everybody in the group. I specifically only considering the drivers as vote because after all, they the races, it's up to them to decide. Yeah. But yeah, so bring on 2020. So it looks good from what we saw. Of course, the proof is in the pudding.
I'm actually just keen for that manufacturer that you can choose. You can choose that aspect of the game where you can choose your own engine supplier and. So I'm looking forward to that. And if that carries over,
how are we going to incorporate it in online? Sorry to interrupt you there, because at the end of the day, unless you have a whole new different version on online.
I don't know. I'm just, I suppose, just hopeful thinking
Unless you
on
can
my
have,
part.
unless of course where we have multiplayer cars, you can have these guys actually racing as teammates as a team online, and they actually come up with a team, and so the guys drive custom teams. So, but let's wait to
Yeah,
see before we jump to conclusions here.
it would be fun though. I suppose it would
Yeah, so
really
let's
make.
see. Look, at the end of the day, it's what a lot of people have been saying. I'm one of them. I've always wondered because you always had this, like, now you have that mechanic simulator. You had F1 Manager a couple of years ago. I was always thinking, when were you going to officially see that in the F1 game? Why can't you have something like that? And finally, they listened to of course, the players. I mean, who after all, who supports, who buys the game. So finally, they listened. So we're finally getting somewhere.
Oh wait, I actually gonna get some back to some onboard racing quickly. Pardon, sorry for that. I see some of the guys are out on mediums.
Yes, a
Just
good
want to
couple of them
see.
actually.
I just want to see who is actually out on mediums.
I would say not. Let's not say that loud because certain doggy listen to the stream because that's his insight.
Well, he is. Well, I can't say what he's on. He's
Yeah,
on
please
soft.
do.
He's on soft, but we've got 1, 2, 3,
But
4,
also keep
5,
in
6,
mind-
7. We've got 7 guys out on mediums.
But also keep in mind the track is gonna cool down now because it's a lot more overcast now. Of course, Canada's always there's some potential of, as we saw Steph and Quentin already commented about the rain earlier. And also, if you see more or less when the rain's going to come, maybe not a bad idea to start them and have a long stint and then just have to stop once the rain comes. So, but then again, you also need to make sure you keep it cleansed out of trouble. So, bit of a gamble, but yeah, let's see. Of course, what works out. What's the best tie in the end? There's Gaspik last week there at Monza. He was happy to distance on softs, and indeed he brought it home in second. Well, potentially he was in the win. It's just that extra penalty saw him drop to seconds. It's at the end of the day, it also depends on the person, I guess, because it's pointless you choose a certain tire, but you can't convert or make the best.
Yeah, well, I suppose it also.
Point is with the 110 on the mediums, but of course this is just this is the tire they're going to start on.
Quentin with
Of
the
course, they
109.
want to still make it through to the next session. Yeah, but that's still like almost a second from what the pig did in the first. The Flacco boys still looking good. Of course, still need to come out for this session.
Now, obviously, all. Well, I suppose we say this every week, or I say this every week, and I probably sound like a broken record, but for anybody that's new to F1, the guys usually Q1, the one that we just witnessed, the 5 slowest guys get
Call it the
eliminated.
dress rehearsal if you want. Of course,
Yeah,
it's
5.
it's only 5 if you actually got more than 15 drivers on in the lobby.
But also comes from obviously the real F1 races. The 5 slowest guys get eliminated, and then Quali 2 or Q2, as it's known, the 5 slowest drivers from this session gets eliminated.
Like in this case, 11th down to 15th.
Yeah, but also the important part here is the set that you did, or the tire that you set your fastest time on. That goes through to the start of the race. That's your start race. If you are within the top 10.
And of course, anybody that qualified outside the top 10 has got free range when they do the pre-race strategy.
Yeah. So if you're wondering why the guys are not doing faster times than what they were doing in Q1 or even Q3, this tire actually has to, the guys that obviously qualify in the
Well
top 10.
spotted, Davey, because you don't want to take out too much of it, because the more laps you do here, the more you take out of your tire, the quicker you're going to have to stop in the race.
Yeah, it's all about that long game at the end of the day. All about that long game. But let's see. I screwed myself over in a race last night with my strategy. Was second, in the third, could have been better. Obviously, this is the GT3 or Project Cars that we're talking about, but
let's see, of course, our strategy is here. But personally, I will not attempt a one-stopper, not yet Canada. 2 stops minimum.
Well, I was on earlier doing some laps, and the hards didn't feel too bad for me. Obviously, that's my opinion. I'm by no means fast. I usually just round here at the back, but I was doing a 114 on the hards. It's not too bad for me.
Mentioned mediums. I see actually 2 of the not sober guys actually decided to go in mediums. A bit unusual compared to a normal strategy, so okay, so we're throwing the dice tonight by the looks of it.
Let's see.
Of course, you see 4 knots to the right. You have not also making a guest appearance again, one of the reserve drivers.
Who is he driving for though? Because we've got all 3 knots, which is not Kimi, not Sebastian, and not Fernando, and they're obviously in the team. Who is not Maverick driving for tonight?
Probably, by the looks of it, if you look at it completely on his own after his teammates abandoned him halfway. So whatever points the not Maverick get will go to Rock of Villains, to Eddie's team. Because VSK's got 2 guys tonight, being Vino and Chen, which is not Chen, Vino and Carter Boy, which are the all remaining guys in that team. So then not Maverick will pretty much count towards Eddie's team, because that's the one thing we did this season with a reserve driver. If they drive for that night, that team gets the points as well as they. So yeah, points will be allocated there to Rockov. We'll count him as a Rockov guy. Of course, they don't need like that. All they want to do is just a race, be and have fun with the guys. So we will do it behind the scenes and sort out it in the points. So at the end of the day, we can't have 4 drivers driving for one team, although we carry the same name. That's a bit of an unfair advantage, as no one else has got 4 drivers. And you simply don't have to have that. Even if you go multiplayer cars, you can only do like 20 drivers on a grid.
Sorry about that. Obviously, I was thinking.
Oh wow, Gaff Peak also on the mediums?
Oh.
Wow, that's a first.
Oh, see, the guys are
already
going
2
for
laps.
the long game.
But he's in the drop zone. Clearly, it's not working for him. Unless it's a bit of traffic and stuff that's actually in his way here. But of course, the longer he stays out here trying to improve, the more he takes out of that tire.
Yeah, let's see what's happening. I'm just riding on board with him at the moment. He's got some traffic ahead of him.
Yeah, he's got not Maverick, but not Maverick, not really going slow. So this is pretty much for him at speed.
Well, so just on that note,
but not Maverick letting him go through. Where we go.
Would you not let him give you the toe down that long straight?
Exactly. That at the end of the day, if he slows down, there's no point in you slowing down to do that, because when Chief so far is done. But ideally, you would have wanted him in front of you here, get that toe in the last moment when pop out. Of course, and when that momentum, bring it through the chicane and start finish line, here we come. So, but anyway, regardless, he finally improved. He's into the 109s, 109.4. But he took 3 laps on those tires, so he's already a few laps down compared to the rest of the guys on mediums. But if he can reserve his tires and not take out that much of it out of him in the race, he might still bring it back. So it's going to be an interesting one. All the usual suspects on mediums, not the usual soft. But of course, it's also about having a good pull away, because obviously the medium takes a little bit longer to warm up. Doesn't have that bite that the pull away. So Quentin at the moment, as he has got that bit of advantage. So then also about keeping it clean. This first corner, not really that tricky as much, but we've seen some first corner incidents before. So don't rule that out.
Fastest.
And this Max, yes, also the mediums. But then again, still keep in mind, some of these guys like to still drive with the cement bags on at this stage of the qualifying.
Do we mention names? Who all are having sandbags in that car?
I mean, this Max. I know, not Kimi, I know can go faster. I believe Vino can also go faster. The only one who truly played the hand here is Gav Peak.
I don't think Gav knows how to go slow. I think it's all about go, 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 which is quite interesting.
Which is pretty much playing into the other guy's hands because he's already playing his hands, and now they know. Because the whole idea is not to give it all away. You basically just do enough to get through to the next session, and when comes that last session, then you go for it and you blast it properly. But of course, this is just qualifying. This is just about the fastest lap. What matters is about endurance, doing it lap after lap and keeping it clean, and that's what the race is about. Yeah. So it's pointless putting it on and you win the race.
I wonder if I can tickle your brain quickly as a suggestion.
Yeah.
Shoot me down. You can shoot me down all you want. I'm just thinking out loud. I thought about this earlier. How about we get the guys to do the qualifying the day before, but then again we can't because the tire that you start on won't be the same now, so screw that idea. I just
you just answered yourself.
Yeah, I just answered myself.
Look, I hear what you're saying. You pretty much want to do it like in real life. You have your qualifying the day before the race. We're Saturday pretty much, and then this will be the Sunday, but of course, like you just answered yourself, when you start a new lobby, all of that stuff is new.
Exactly, so yeah.
And it also means that whoever hosts the lobby need to spend the time and go set up a manual, grid based on the results. So it's a bit labor intensive, and at the end of the day, well, not that much labor intensive. It's just obviously you need to remember who was first, who was second, whatever the case. But the thing is, like you say, it will be fresh rubber, not wound. So it's actually going to give some guys an advantage rather.
Yeah, I just answered myself there. Oh well, should just stick to commentating. So I can't drive, obviously. So I'll just stick to sitting in the comms box.
I think whenever Rob sees a pink car in the top 5, he's a very happy guy. Like one of those teenage boys seeing a naked lady for the first time.
Ooh. Over there. I see Chen is sitting in the pit.
Yeah,
not
so
going out again.
He can still make it, but then he's going to have to move within the next few seconds. Still movement
he's actually been doing well.
Springbok came in the out lap. He's about to start, so he will be able to get in another lap after this one. So Springbok Gamer will have to pull out something here. He's in the drop zone. His teammate Boink is currently out lap, also in the drop zone, but if one of them improve, it pretty much brings Staffy on the edge, because Staffy is 9th. If Springbok Gamer or Boinkies improve a position, Boinkies improves to 9th, that kicks Staffy down to 10th, and even if Springbok Gamer goes into the top 10 when Staffy is out, Staffy already retired. So a good inter-team battle there, and it's pretty much been like this the whole season with this team. Couple of races, Boinkies was obviously the fastest guy, and then also you saw Staffy taking the fight back to Boinkies. But then, of course, Mr. Consistent this season in that team, I would definitely say, was Springbok Gamer. Looking at the points, of course, Boinkies finished higher up and he racked up a good points to be in the top 4. But of course, Springbok Gamer being Mr. Consistent, finishing race after race, bringing in valuable points to the teams, and as a result, as it stands, they came a lot closer to Not Sober. So Not Sober, as it is now, not guaranteed of that second place. Bearing in mind, Oceans Free have been in second place for the early part of the championship, for the season. Of course, BBP actually took the lead and never looked back. So that second place tussle is pretty much open. It's still there for either Oceans Free or Not Sober. It's just who wants it the most. Of course, there's still the possibility of BBP having a bad night or two, and then we might not even see them winning. But it's going to take some real bad luck for them. But as it is now, it looks more like BBP is going to take the constructors.
I just saw Steph got down to 10th. I see what you were saying actually earlier with Boinkies going to 9th. Boinkies got Steph on the edge, but I thought Carterboy might push Staffy out, but his lap was invalidated and he had no more time to go around for to start a new flyer. So as it is, 1st to 10th, Gav, Quinton, Nismax, not Sebastian, not Maverick,
Nah,
not Kimmy,
I'm
Vino,
not too
Force,
worried about
Boinkies.
versus just to make it through to the next session. But
Yeah,
1, 2, 3 really counts in the next session.
so we lost 80, not Fernando, Carterboy, Springbok, Gamer,
Yeah,
and Chen. Obviously, they've got free choice of tire right now, for the
correct.
start of the race.
So Staffy
So
was kicked down to 10th and Boinkies up to 9th. So, so those two, yeah, but luckily, you know what, both of them make it through. Unfortunately, Springbok game not. So, yeah, that team keep doing what they're doing. So it's always good to see, because at the end of the day, you first need to be able to also beat your teammate before you try beating everyone else.
well, I see. Obviously, not Sebastian wasn't with us last week, but coming back and fourth for now. But I mean, if you look at the time from I would say first to eighth, first to ninth actually.
Just waiting for Quinton and
194.
Boinkies to actually retire. There we go, Quinton have done that. Just waiting for Boinkies to retire the session. Car is in the garage when the session will be over.
Like I was saying, 1094. Basically, 1094s to 109, 110s, 110.2s, separating the top 10. So, quite
Yeah,
close
but now we're
for
going to see those
season two.
108s. Can we still see a 107? Because that lap that the pig did in the first session. So, yeah, let's see how much faster they can go. So far, we got 2 BBP boys there in the top 3. Of course, all they need is then obviously Chen who replace RZDV due to, of course, personal circumstances. RZDV had to leave. Chen, of course, might not be the fastest, but bearing in mind this guy that only have 3 races under his belt, joined
Finished all three.
and he finished all 3 100% races where not a lot of people could say that. So all that the BBP wants is just for him to finish, because it's still points for the team, because every point what they get will help him, you know, just get the constructors, then make sure that it's them. It secures it easily. There we go. Q3 started. So a couple up, so a couple of guys already in a hurry to get out there.
Let's see who gets out first.
Probably Staffy.
I see 2.
No,
Okay.
it's actually. Oh, and he's actually met by not sober Boykie.
Which not? Oh, not Sebastian out.
Him and Vos. Not sober and the jelly bean car there. Can keep each other company. Not Kim is also out.
Well, not Kimmy's out first.
We got Staffy out, but Staffy for a change, not the first one out. Nismax is also on track. For once, actually, we see not sober only with 2 drivers in the third qualifying session, not the usual 3. Of course, then Oceans 3 also got 2. Van Vlak has got 2. Well, then again, only got 2 cars on the grid tonight. Not Maverick, of course, representing Rocco Villains tonight, and then of course there's Vino from VSK. So I must say, actually, the team's well represented in Q3. Not for one-way traffic type of thing that you normally see.
Okay, let's see what not Sebastian can do. Let's just ride a board.
Of course, the first guy out, yeah, as you say. So he's going to pose for the first time, but it's already invalidated.
Not invalidated.
Not invalidated, yes. Not sober, not invalidated. I see you catching up with it, not. One of his days is going to be not Devon.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I must what I must change it to. I had one, but I can't mention it on here though.
You change your P's into Steffi's P. I know he's listening, but obviously he's out on track, focusing on his lap.
I could never do that though. I could always only focus on one thing. It's either me driving or me listening to something. So.
But to drive and then listen, yeah, because your attention is a bit divided. And it can be distracting, but some guys actually thrive on that.
Yeah, I mean, kudos to the guys that can do it. I can't.
Well, Staffy's just a spy, that's why he's doing it.
Let's see, force is
Staffy actually also invalidated lap
109.7.
109, still high, of course, especially after what his teammate did on the mediums previous session. Because this is just the banker lap.
Nismax actually went slower than his previous lap.
Yeah, but it's banker and those sandbags. Look, with the sandbags change to sandbags, it's still early days, so no, that's definitely not going to be pole. And besides, you still have a couple of guys who still have to come through, and the pig is out on track.
Not Kimmy's out. Yeah, everybody's out on track actually.
Yep. The last one to join was the pig. He's on his out lap now. Everyone else pretty much on hot laps, but also invalidated lap for not Kimmy. Not Sebastian back on the lap, back on it. Quentin 109.2, so we're moving closer to that 108. But my question is still, can somebody somehow break into the 107s? It will obviously be the high 107s, but it's going to take a massive lap. Because I mean that one where the pig did in the first quali session was already a massive lap. What do you do to beat that? Not Sebastian coming through now, good clean, nothing bad there for Wall of Champions. Start finish line approaching and he goes fastest. 109.0, there we go, closer and closer to the 108.
109 flat.
Not much between him and Quentin.
Let's see what Gav does.
These guys would want to have another go, so put in new tire or put on new rubber. Just under 7.5 to go, so we're still have plenty of time.
Yeah, these guys won't be caring about that softs. They will tear that softs up
coming
for
down,
the perfect lap.
We're coming down the back straight now, approaching that chicane. Coming very close, but not touching Wall of Champions on the start-finish line. And he does.
108.8.
There we go. There's our 108.
108.8.
But can somebody go lower even than that? Already back in the pit, Staffy, one of them, and not Kimmy. Neither of them has set the timers yet. Not Kimmy's on his way out again.
Now everybody else is in the pits.
Riding here, keeping at that angle. It's ironic. He always bring up the Power Ranger. The Power Ranger is trying to drink, you know, that gift with a Power Ranger drinking, but obviously no hole in the helmet, so the water splashing off. If you look at this angle slightly on board, his helmet actually looks like that red Power Ranger's helmet. So I could call what officially the Red Ranger.
The Red Ranger. And for the kids that don't know what Power Rangers were, awesome show back in the day. And I say awesome, I just gave my age away actually.
I'm just saying Gavin to stop showing off. But at the end of the day, it's still this is just the qualifying, guys. The real business still matters. Pole is just that points, bonus points, of course. What matters is the race. Of course, what Devin wanted to touch on earlier, but he still didn't want to. He's a little bit away, but not much. Of course, as we said earlier, we will be moving over to F1 2020. So, so we're going to start that next season, our next stream, of course, when we resume. For now, we can obviously fill the next couple of Fridays with whatever still on F1 2019, just to, you know, to still do this, whatever, just to see out the time till then. But of course, one of the changes, of course, with the new season is also the whole Team B show over to Discord. We will no longer be on WhatsApp, no more group chats, info, whatever the case may be. So we gave, you know, what the idea was in the next couple of weeks to move over. And of course, yours truly made a comment about it this morning, and surprised a lot of people actually made the jump today even. So a lot of guys made their way over. So officially from next season, all the information stuff will, and going forward, that is pretty much going to be where we will be, as with most of these online leagues. Of course, yeah, the guys key in setting up sort of respective groups. Of course, a lot of work went in, him and not Fernando. Lots of effort, lots of research if I can, because it's not a decision we took very lightly. Of course, looked at a lot of possibilities. Of course, looked into it, is it worth it, etc. So we made an attempt, I mean, a year or so ago, and it didn't work. But of course, a lot has changed since then, and I must say, it looks and feels so much better. So I believe that will be a good one. Of course, time will tell. But it also makes it also easier for new guys who want to join. Obviously, we to new guys who want to join. It's just about keep keep following us. We're on Twitter. The links was shared there, so you can join via that. For all the guys watching, of course, it's all about having fun. I know a lot of guys see them as races. Of course, as a sim racer is still a gamer, but just importantly, remember to have fun, keep it clean, and consider everyone else around you. So, but everybody who want to join are welcome. You could just join us on Discord.
And we should actually say thank you to the guys that actually moved over as well. I know it couldn't have been easier to see everybody just go, but thank you for
taking them out of their comfort zones
and joining. And yeah, obviously there's some teething issues as well, but with feedback from everybody, it will get better.
Devil. Okay, that's the first time I see that, unless someone changed their name or so forth. Welcome, nice first time, because I knew some of the viewers, some of the guys who like to comment, you do remember them. But Granite, I don't recall seeing you, but yeah, welcome. Anyone specifically you supporting or which you hoping to win tonight? Rob, I don't know from which Power Ranger show. I don't give a damn. For us, we don't care. It's still the Red Ranger, the Blue Ranger, or Green Ranger. It doesn't matter which it is. There's been too many of it anyway.
The Green Ranger was what, the powerful one at the end of it anyway? Wasn't the White Ranger previously?
Yeah, no, there were so many. You had a White Ranger eventually. You had a pink, you had a yellow, you had a black, a blue, whatever. Yeah, so that thing just went on and on and on and on. No one's still near Gaff. Gaff's still the only guy in the 108, and it's just under, well, just pretty much a 1.5 to go.
His teammate is coming down for start-finish straight now.
Let's see, no, still nothing. No. He's still got 1 lap to go. Well, actually, he can still do 2 if he's got enough fuel left.
Now,
not Sebastian and not Kimi is going to actually take the fight to the peak. They're going to be right behind him at the start. Vino retired, so he's not going to improve. Foss not far off. Not a lot separating him and the not sober boys. He would like to have another. Actual Flakker lockout, but let's see.
Let's see what's happening on the mini map actually.
Oh, and I see. Okay, it's Scott actually who changed his name. He's not using the normal WhatsApp, normal YouTube login, which is his mum and dad. He's actually logged in as Granite E Devil. Okay, thank you, Scott. While you're here, Scott, please, if you want to join again, follow the formal process, please, because you are now on Discord. I saw you joined, so obviously we will obviously send out comms on Discord as well. We did send out communications on WhatsApp before the guys start moving over. I did ask guys to get in touch with me, telling me who would want to sign up. But just keep in mind also, your internet connection has come up again tonight. I saw on the Discord social chat. Right.
Riding a board on.
Not Kimi is done. Foss is done. Quentin is done. So they're not going to improve. They still mismatched.
Taking out the sandbags.
A couple of guys not going really quick.
He's gone purple in the first sector. So second sector. Sorry.
Watch out for Nismax.
And he's got a toe down.
I was just about to say, hope maybe he can even get a bit of a toe there. And it's a pink car, but not his teammates. Your position's pink. But nonetheless, he would like Vito coming through now. Past Wall of Champions, still following in Staffy's slip.
Oh, 1091.
No, it's the fifth. So it's still going to be Gaff Peak with the two boys from Not Sober up front. But then again, Vino's going to be there to keep him honest. Don't rule out Maverick. Vino. Not Maverick also don't improve. So we're just waiting for Not Sebastian to retire. He's in the pit box.
No, he's in the pit.
No, so we're just waiting for Not Sebastian to retire, and of course then Gaff Peak to finish his lap. He slowed down because realizing he's done enough. No need to push it. He's coming into the pits. So he's done it. Yet another pole for the peak.
How much poles does he have now already before the season?
Well, yeah, he actually started well. To be honest with you, it was pole the last 3 races. Well, yeah, last 3 race weekends definitely. He's now 3 on a trot. There was 1 or 2 before, but you're putting me on the spot now. Sorry, Dave. But definitely the last 3 weeks it's actually been pole.
That's not a bad record though.
Yeah, you can see Rob is showing his age. He was clearly a Power Ranger fan. The Green Ranger became the White Ranger. Yeah, back in the day when it was early days. I think the Green Ranger was still called Tommy.
Yes, it was.
There we go. Pole position goes to Gaff, taking it from Not Sebastian and Not Kimmy. Then the rest of the grid forms up with Vino, Nismax, Force, Quinton, Boinkies, Not Maverick and Staffy. Of course, it's going to be, it's obviously the important thing is strategy, who's going to get the better start, and of course, either rain when falls as predicted. How many times did you see this, that whatever is predicted is not really true? So let's see, the best part is coming up. Staffy left the session. What worst possible time? Just as you go over.
Can you get back into your car? I don't think so.
The thing is, once the session started, you can come back and reclaim your vehicle.
But not in this waiting area.
But if you pretty much exit, because you need to be in the lobby before finishing Q3 and going to the race. And of course, you need to be here when the race starts. And then, of course, if you leave, you can rejoin. But this still counts as that in between, and if you go out in between, chance of you getting back, no. It happened to me once before, so I think that's pretty much Staffy out.
I'm just waiting for everybody to ready up. Unless you just...
Oh, and it's a blue screen error that Staff got. Oh, all his blue movies. His blue movies finally caught up with him.
Oh, but his Steph joined again.
But is he in for real?
Let's see. Yeah.
He joined, but it doesn't mean he took control of his car. Let's hope. The judge actually finally joined. The judge is on grid right at the back, but he did manage to join the lobby. So we finally got the 16 drivers we were anticipating at the start. Of course. Could have been a different story if we had some of the other guys who left, if they were still here.
And it just, obviously the guys are out on the formation laps, trying to get the heat in tires, trying to get the heat in the brake, heat up the brakes.
Yeah, heat in the tires, heat in the brakes, yeah, that's because it's all about heat. Tommy, you'll figure. Tommy. Of course, what was that? There was a series on Hallmark. A police series, man. Anyway, the lady's name is what? Amy Jo Johnson. She played Kimberly. She was the Pink Ranger.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. Now I'm really showing my... Because that's how far it goes. That's how far actually this Power Rangers thing go back.
I mean, we're obviously about the same age. We won't say what our age currently is, but we're about the same age.
Obviously, teenage.
Definitely watch.
Obviously, teenage stage. Obviously, you watch the Pink Ranger because that was a nice looking guy. No, good luck, boy. Steph, does that mean you're out? We actually well and truly mean good luck. Damn, Steph V. Steph. The judge changed Springbok.
Let's just watch the start
I
of
don't
this.
see. No, there's no Steph. I don't see Steph's name B. Oh no.
Okay,
right, here we go. Watch for the lights. And
away
it's to go. Oh, drive for penalty, jump start for Carterboy 45.
Oh,
Gaspic feeling the pressure, not Sobers is on him.
Oh, and there's contact.
Oh, there's contact. And I think that's Nismax. Yep, it is.
Maverick got a 5-second penalty.
I think he might have touched, he touched Nismax coming in too hot. Oh, Gaspic already cutting corners, pushing there. Pushing not Sebastian very much to...
oh no, it still got in plates.
No, that was more like not Sebastian that actually got pushed to the wall by Gaspic. Very
I wish we had a replay button actually to see what happened to Nismax, really. That would be a nice feature.
It was him and not Maverick right at the back. I think not Maverick arrived, and of course Maverick got damage.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like Nismax got any damage, but not Maverick got. Not Sebastian would like to hope it stays like this because he's ahead of his teammate. He's still some places ahead of Nismax. That actually will take him back into the lead of his championship if everything will to stay as it is. But of course, still a long way to go. The race just started, 70 laps. Gaspic fastest lap, of course, first car around. But he's feeling the pressure by not Sebastian.
Gaspic 3-second penalty.
And it looks like the two of them are actually starting to move away from not Kimi. And Force with a tremendous start. He's in fourth. Oh, not
3-second penalty.
3 second. These guys are actually they actually following each other very closely. So you got a Flaker, not sober, and then Flaker. So what you want, because there's a fighter with a teammate backup, and these guys already made some ground on Vino, and which is weird because Vino is not a slow guy.
So just some updates: Quentin in the pits for a nose change, AD in the pits for a nose change, Maverick in the pits for a nose change.
Staff is indeed out. Oh damn it! So Staff confirms. So Staff said he missed by 5 seconds. So yeah, so he obviously got a blue screen, quickly restarted his game and stuff, got in and invested with a few seconds. So he managed to rejoin, but not quick enough to regain his vehicle. So Staff is out, and it now shows 15 drivers again. So temporarily we had 16, but it was of short last, unfortunately. Tough luck, Staff. Billy, Zach, of course Kimberly, Tommy, yes, Rob, really? Rob really taking it back down memory lane. Oh, there's end plates flying, and I think that looks like a peak. Yep, the peak is missing in the end plate.
End plate, yes.
Not going to handle well. But same place where he pushed not Sebastian a little earlier, now actually cost him his end plate.
Kimmy just put up a...
Vino actually... Vino started picking up.
Well, he just put a 10th up on not Sebastian in sector 2.
Where you can see, but then again, all of the top 6 are actually all on mediums. Normally you see the soft guys in front, normally now you see the mediums. So the top 6 on mediums, they're pretty much going to go further, but 10 a hell of a start. I mean,
Chin
15th, 14th place on the start, and guess what? He's in 7th at the moment.
Well, here's a nice battle here between Chin and not Fernando.
Yeah, who also made a good shot. Oh, Fast now with the fastest lap, and he's actually going to try to take not Kimi, but not Kimi will have the inside this time. Not Kimi and Force also battled last week there at Monza. Of course, at that stage, Force was leading the race. Can not Sebastian do something? He's backed off a little bit. He's not so much on the gearbox of the peak at the moment.
Fernando is actually on the gearbox of Chin. Okay, was 2 tenths around turn 3. Drop back a little bit. 5 tenths now, back to the chin. Obviously got DRS, so let's see. Will he be the last of the late breakers? Not this time.
Right lanes. Of course, Canada, not that easy of a place to overtake. You'll just have to time it and make your move at the right possible time.
Well, I'd say Fernando got a nice exit out of that last, just before
it is, but not close enough. Oh, 3-second try penalty now for not Kimi.
Not close enough.
Called it. But I'm not going to say commentator's curse. I'm going to say the RZDV curse. He did call. He did say there's going to be a lot of penalties, and so far we've been seeing just that. It's like
I'm not going to go look at penalties yet. It's just
Sebastian right back on it, right in the gearbox of that Flaka Kawi of Gafbeek, and then moving away from Force and not Kimi, and now Force has actually got pass of Kimi. Oh, and a huge corner cut by Force. Surely he's going to have to give that back. Mate took a lot of corner in the process while doing that. Now, not Sebastian got a good drive out of here. Right in the slipstream, he's going to have DRS. Double DRS, the second part being on the start-finish line. Just a little bit too far back. And of course, Gafbeek is
DRS
missing in plate, but it doesn't look like it's bothering him at the moment. Just not able. DRS not really making that big of a difference. It can also be that not Sebastian, not that Gafbeek is saving up his DRS to counter that whole DRS zone. Fast closing on them now. Of course, not Kimi trying to stay in touch. Meantime, Venus come closer. He's now within a second.
Oh, 3-second penalty for multiple
3-second time penalty. But like I said, Rob called it. It's going to be a lot of penalties, and it's only lap 6. Of course, Force don't want to be making a move too soon. Yeah, he would like to get in front, but he don't want to be involved should the two in front of him tangle.
Quentin just put up the fastest lap.
Was Quentin also in the move?
Not Fernando.
Also really a recovery drive from Quentin all the way down in 13th.
Oh,
not a good night so far for PPP boys. Actually, funny enough, you see the two fastest guy who's normally ahead and when Paul or whatever with Chen obviously at the bottom. The race is now that roles are actually reversed. Chen is actually leading ahead of the two fastest guys BPP. So how things can change in the blink of an eye. But Judge also running good in 10th place at the moment. He obviously is gonna.
Like we always say, you can't win a race in turn 1, but you can definitely lose
a race. This match can have a look on the inside. He lined up the Judge, got slipstream. Judge not fighting him very that much. This match 9 to 10. He's going to obviously set off the Springbok gamer. That will be his next target.
Kimi is 3 tenths off.
Away, Meetnam in front. He's now just over a second behind. But like I said, not necessarily a bad move. Not Kimi actually more than a second behind him. The real pressure from Vino.
No. First to 5th is quite close.
Yeah, and Billy wore glasses, Rob. I think
Blue Ranger.
Yeah.
Vino looking at
yeah, but there we go. Not Kimi also got a missing in plate, so that's actually something that you said earlier. Got an in plate missing.
Oh, I see.
And I think he's feeling it a bit. So that's why Vino is doing, and why Force is also getting away from him.
Not Kimi's actually sandwich.
Gafbeek actually's got. Gafbeek's also got a missing in plate, but like I said, doesn't look like it's troubling him anyway. Oh, virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. Oh, not Fernando, actually in some sort of incident. He's got no front wing. Not even in plate or whatever. No wing at all.
I wonder if that's not the
A bit of an incident there that triggered the VSC, but nobody retired, nobody spun, and yet VSC
jumped in the pits.
Boy jumped in the pit. He's going on the hard, so he's going to go obviously very long.
Oh, but can you actually finish the race? Can you actually finish the race on hard from here?
He's actually set because there is rain predicted. Don't forget that, because that will definitely take him to that will definitely take him to when he needs to stop for rain.
Okay, I guess we're back at green.
This back in 9th, of course. He moved up with not Fernando dropping down, and still not Sebastian able to do something about Gaff Peak.
He's much closer though.
He's soon going to find force on his tail. No, he's not going to do one of those late minute dive ball moves. That's not his way of racing. Much better, but it's not the right place to pass.
Well, you could always do it over here.
Of course, if he can do a lot of, if he can keep Peak under pressure, well, mistakes might come. Not Kimi again with another penalty. Vino keep it clean, he's pretty much in front, but of course that will only come into play later. Meantime, Boykin's chasing them down in 6th, Chen still in 7th. Nesmax gaining on Springbok Gamer, still about 2 seconds behind Chen.
Vino is 2 seconds behind Kimi, but the fight for first.
Force now really way up, oh not Maverick with a 3-second time penalty. The curse of RVDV is coming through. Not Sebastian, just not able in this DRS to get close enough to it. And as I say that, I was thinking of it. Thought better of it. Oh, Gaffney with another cut.
And Sebastian,
but not Sebastian get not Sebastian with a 3-second time penalty. But if you look at that, Gaffney actually took more corner than not Sebastian. Now, not Sebastian can go look on the inside.
Ooh, on the inside, and he runs wide, but. Ooh,
but he's got the better drive out, and he is definitely past the Peak. Oh, now Force has passed the Peak. Oh, no, not sure what's happening to the Peak. But the Peak is actually all of a sudden lost 2 places in a matter of a few corners.
He still doesn't have an end plate, but there's nothing else I can see that's wrong.
I'm not sure about this game's penalties, but again, riding on board too was not Sebastian coming to that final chicane. Gaffbig also cut that corner. Looked like a bit more, but then again, it also depends, you know, on all defense to Codemasters. It can be that, no, but obviously not Sebastian had a few warnings, and that was pretty much enough. Third warning, of course, means a penalty. It can be that Gaffbig was in his first or second warning of the next stint, so which means the next corner where he cut like that can be a 3-second penalty. So that doesn't mean that it will go unpunished by the game.
And Vino just took Kimi with
and
DRS.
Force is meantime putting now not Sebastian under pressure. Payback for what not Sebastian did to his teammate earlier.
Nesmax with a recovery drive, obviously.
Of course, Force is used to fighting these not sober boys. He's done so last week. Not Kimi will know, of course, going back before that even.
And Fernando just took Carterboy.
Yeah, for just fighting his way back.
12th, yeah. Springbok Gamer is 5/10 off Nesmax. Nesmax is 3/10 off Chen. Those two obviously teammates. I wonder if he'll just let him pass, or if he'll actually get. Oh, and he just pulls over. Chen just pulls over for Nesmax. There we go.
Of course, yes. That is a team thing, of course. This is the one nice thing about the multiplayer. You don't see this much in the F1 cars, but you saw a lot of team strategies and stuff like that. Oh, Forces can have a go, can have a look on the inside.
And he makes it stick.
Yeah, and he's
Kimi coming back at him.
But not Sebastian behind him.
Whoa,
but looks like for a moment where Force was ghosting, one of that ghosting glitch again. And not Sebastian. Have a look on the inside.
Ooh,
not much space.
Some tire rubbing
but
over
this time round, not Sebastian will have a DRS again, because that's one thing that helped Force there. We know almost 3 seconds back, so it's pretty much these 3 guys now battling with not Kimi dropping off.
And that wing is wide open up from Not Sebastian. A little bit too far, but that long back straight is coming up. But as I say that, Gav will also have DRS on Not Sebastian. And I think I've lost my count. Oh, he's there.
No, I'm still here. I'm still here. I just actually realized that there was a bit of an incident reported out of qualifying already, so there's going to be some stuff falling off the race. So yeah, so not finding him right there in a Flaka sandwich, because Gafpik actually, what happened to him, clearly out of the way, he's back on it, right on the tail of Not Sebastian. Oh, there we go, Gafpik now with a 3-second time penalty. Nismac still on his recovery drive, trying to chase down Boinkies, of course, in 7th place. As you said earlier, Chen moving over for him, so Nismac moving away from Chen, chasing after Boinkies. Of course, Nismac wants to get as high as possible. He don't want to see Not Sebastian and Not Kimi get ahead of him that much, especially with one race to go, and all to fight for the championship. As it is now, Not Sebastian still in the better position, even if Gafpik overtakes him. As long as if he finishes in the top 3 and his teammate and Nismac's further down, he will regain the lead.
Let's just see, because we're driving on board here. I'm driving on board with Springbok Gamer, obviously 610s chasing down Chen. I think Springbok Gamer just got the better drive out of that corner.
Because only thing is Springbok Gamer's got the mediums, but those mediums last longer. So he's just going to take a little bit of patience, but if he's patient and time is just right, he's going to make it. That's the key thing about racing, especially the long distance. You mustn't take the first and best possible opportunity that presents itself. Take a lap or two, look at the guys' lines, and then work out where you're going to do it. But of course, yeah, Springbok Gamer has been doing this long enough, so he will know. But yet again, Chen's good
rookie season.
Yeah, good entrance into F1 is still going well. And surprise, surprise, except for Staffy, who had that blue screen at the start, no one else has retired or left the session. Of course, Foss now getting on with business. He's actually now more than a second ahead of Not Sebastian. So no DRS for Not Sebastian to counter Gafpik's, of course, DRS, because Gafpik is within a second from him. Oh, Foss now with a time penalty. Okay, I lost count.
If I can just... I just want to go check quickly.
I think the top 3 is pretty much even on penalties. Because I recall 2-3 seconds for all 3 of them.
Oh, where's my pin actually?
Oh,
here we go.
Doing war without a gun again tonight, I see. Come Rob, don't go quiet on us now.
Oh wow, so Force only has 6 seconds worth of penalties.
Yep. I said 2. I know 3 seconds for him and 2 for Not Sebastian.
Not Sebastian.
But as I say, that Force again cuts that corner which actually saw him make a move on Not Kimi earlier. So it looks like that corner is going to cost him tonight, so he's going to have to be careful. The last thing he wants is to be in the lead and then lose it at the end on penalties.
And Gav's also only got 2-second penalties, so...
Yeah, 2-3 seconds, so 6 seconds.
6 seconds as well, yes.
And Not Sebastian?
Also 2, he's got 6 seconds as well. So they're all
the top 3s. So how about a nice thumbs up for your co-commentator, because I said I recall seeing 2 times 3 for all 3 of them. So they're pretty much even as it is now, penalties. So at the moment they're still racing on track. And Gafpik's actually falling off, and Not Sebastian gained on foot. So he's within a second again, and now more than a second. So for now that will put him at ease a bit, because not having Gafpik on his gearbox, and now he can actually get onto Force's gearbox and try to get back to that first position. Of course, it's about putting also under pressure. Who can cope the best under pressure? And at the end of the day, there's still that predicted rain coming in, so that will also throw a span in the works. And not Sebastian still gaining. Gaffpick, as you can see, Gaffpick is now already 2 seconds down, battling to keep up. Of course, like I said earlier, he's got that missing end plate, so this might be the place and time in the race where it's going to start costing him. Because as you can see there, these two already starting to reel in back markers. Of course, no safety cars yet. And picks up another 3 seconds, and it looks like that last corner, that exit part of that chicane is actually, well, that inside corner of the chicane, not the exit, sorry, that chicane is actually his Achilles tendon, because that's the second time he picked up a penalty coming through that chicane onto the final straight. So it looks like each of them have a different corner where they're actually going to rack up the penalty. So as it is now, Gaffpick for the moment is in second place when penalties come in, but again, we're not even halfway yet, so there's still going to be a couple more penalties.
Well, as it stands now, Vino's actually second. Vino's got no
penalties, correct.
None.
Vino doing a boinkies tonight and keeping it clean. But he's 4-6, but still, yeah, like I said, he's second, but he just needs to be careful and make up some time to make it count, because if he falls a little bit further back, then it will be third place.
I'm just checking now. We should see the...
Carter Boy retired. And Chen now with a 3-second time penalty. We have our first retirement of the race, of course. One, don't start. It's the Wall of Champions. Wall of Champions claimed its first victim tonight. And it's a VSC.
Surprised it's only a VRC though. But
not Maverick running at the back with those hard tyres. He's got 80 behind him. Fernando in front.
So the Wall of Champions actually claimed Damon Hill.
Only someone like you will know that, but thanks for the irrelevant info, but okay.
So the Wall of Champions claimed Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher, Jules Villeneuve, Nico Rosberg, Juan Pablo Montoya, Carlos Sykes, Jenson Button, Vettel and Kevin Magnussen.
Just about to say Vettel, Vettel and Michael, yes. A couple of big names in that, yes. And Gavin now with 3 seconds, so he and not Sebastian are even again on penalties.
What happened to Gav?
Gaffpick pitted. He went for a fresh set of mediums. Looks like he finally decided to get rid of that damaged front wing with a missing end plate.
As well.
So there we go. Gaffpick got rid of that broken wing, so he's got a new wing. End plates back in action, back in. So he's got a proper wing, so he can now push on. So it's a new wing and fresh rubber for Gaffpick. Funny, he went for another set of mediums and not softs. Try to, have that extra advantage to get that extra speed and of course make up places. But at the end of the day, it's hard tyres, and the important thing to him, it's fresh tyres, and he had the opportunity to change the wing. So Gaffpick then behind Boinkies and Vino. Nesmax made it in all the way up to third in the place, but under huge pressure there from Vino, and soon Gavin on fresh rubber, both of them, Vino and Gavin on fresh rubber. And
Fernando and Chen just had a incident.
And Chen cutting over the grass. Yeah, not Fernando. No, looks like the front wing is intact. It doesn't look like Chen has got front wing damage.
I think there was a bit
80
of
got
contact
past, not
there.
Maverick. 80 of course on the softer tyre. Not Sebastian now, second again behind Force. Nismax 21 seconds, 22 seconds off. Vino still there with Gaffpick following closely. Of course, the two in the back's got the fresher rubber. Boinky's falling off because also the older tyres. Not Kimi also on fresh rubber, then 7th. Strange to see Gaffpick on the mediums. I know soft is his favourite. Vino's going to have a go on the inside. And as I say that, he's actually left the session.
Springbok left the session.
Oh, the connections are going pear-shaped at the worst possible time. And as you can see, all of a sudden, that is a get-out-of-jail-free card for Gaffpick. with Vino's disconnect, automatically the AI took over, and the AI is not on the same speed as Vino, so as you can see that car Vino dropping down. Now more than 2 seconds behind, so Gafpeak would be happy. He's going to smile because now no pressure behind him, so he can focus on the job at hand, which is Nismax. Of course, the guys in front would hope that Nismax can hold Gafpeak up. But the question is, when will they stop? Yeah, I know Bulk and Cal, those were the two bad boys. Because Bulk, as I said, Bulk. Right, here we go. DRS wide open. Gafpeak he's not gonna make a late move.
No. Not Kimi, he's 4/10 of Vino. I think Vino is still...
Yeah, he's ahead of him. Gafpeak's gonna try to have a look on the outside, but Ford better of it. Boinkies obviously got past Vino because of that ghosting, and I didn't see anything about Vino rejoining. And Vino dropping further down, so his race gone. But so I also didn't see Springbok Gamer come back as yet. I haven't seen rejoin from both, and Springbok Gamer also lost places.
Because AD is about to overtake Springbok Gamer.
Yes.
Oh, but AD on the grass over there.
But that car's also AI controlled. Oh, not Sebastian, not able to hold on. Springbok Gamer finally rejoined.
Joins. AD's in the Springbok. Oh, sorry, I judge in the pit.
Well, you called it drop. I was said it's strange to see not Maverick at the back, not Maverick being lapped. Normally he's one of those guys that lap the back markers. Of course, if it's not United, it happens to the best of him. I'm not sure if not Sebastian decided to go tyre saving, and Gafpeak finally got a move. He finally made a move on Nismax. He will be chasing. He will be chasing after the two in front, so it's looking better for Gafpeak. So, and yet the scales look like it's going to tip into Gaf's favour. Of course, the two in front still have to stop. They can't go that much longer. And at the end of the day, the gap between them is not much. So when they stop, Gafpeak
force another 3-second penalty.
Yeah.
Oof.
And Gafpeak with the purple corner there.
Not Kimi is 3 seconds off Boinkies. 3 seconds, 3:10, sorry.
3:10, yeah, he's going to put Boinkies under pressure.
What's some DRS? Will he make it stick? No, he thinks better of it.
No, not for... But it's got DRS, but doesn't mean automatically it's going to help you get through. Probably going to wait for this back straight. Because double DRS coming up. And Vino finally is rejoined, but yeah, after he dropped a couple of places, he could have put Gafpeak under pressure, and Gafpeak would not have been able to probably get to Nismax. And not Kim is going to go on the inside, and he does make the move.
Yeah.
He's back into fifth. Gafpeak's put up the fastest lap at 1:13. He's still gaining on those two in front. I think now might be a good time for those two to make a pit stop, so that if they're not that far off, because at the moment, if they stop now, they're just going to be just behind him. But the longer they start on those worn tyres, the more of an advantage you gain, and then he's going to be further ahead.
I'm just checking out the tires. I'm on the tire page now. For St. Sebastian's got 22 lap old medium. So does Nismax.
And so does Boinkies. And AD's got 14.
Not Maverick went for the hard tires, so he's playing a very long game.
Carter Boy also went for hard tires when he retired.
Just put on something. Don't actually want to give away the guy's telemetry. Let's just take that off. Well, if Force does, but no.
Oh, Nismax is in the pits. Nismax is going to go. So surely these two in front is going to have to do something to respond. Because now even Nismax got an opportunity. I will also go soft because the weather is starting to change. It's overcast. The stint to the rain might not be as long away than what they're thinking here. So, not a bad call by Nismax.
Well,
and it's going to be faster, fresh, soft. So he's going to really push, and the track will cool down now. So I believe Nismax has got a bit of an advantage here.
Sorry. So here's the question: if it starts raining in the next 2 laps, those softs are basically useless then, because you've put it and then you have to put again. But then again, I suppose the track doesn't just cool down.
Oh, not in blue flag. 80 get a penalty. He got so into the moment he forgot about
80's got 10.
The faster car behind, because Force is trying to get past him. And Force is still behind him, not able to get past. So 80's going to have to pull over, otherwise risk of another penalty.
Well, I think
or even disqualification. He's going to have to pull over to get Force past him. Oh, 3-second time penalty as well. All of a sudden, 80's race is going pear-shaped. Not Sebastian has sputtered, gap big into second. Not Sebastian has responded to Nismax. Surely Force will have to put. And another 5 seconds for ignoring the blue flag.
Is that 15 seconds already?
Well, it's already 10 plus that penalty, so it's actually 13 seconds in a matter of a few corners on this lap. Finally, Force got get alongside him, or did he? But he will have DRS, he will have the inside, so surely Force has passed this time. Of course, I know Force will be swearing under that helmet. We would have wanted to get away sooner because he knows his teammate is coming, and Force is going to do another lap. Boink is also still out, so not Sebastian is fending off, and actually not Sebastian did call it right. He's just over a second behind Gafpeak, and of course his tyres now will be 7 longer, so he can push.
Yellow flag, not Fernando, retired from the session. And that's not at Fernando. The Wall of Champion.
No, that's actually that first sector. Coming up to that sector. Let's see, you know what, 26 laps, let's see if that guy actually want to go fall back on his old way. Oh, it's actually a safety car. So let's take that. So let's take this moment quickly before, surely Force will now put. Guys, just excuse me for a moment. Just want to see, if we can get him in here. Of course, also used to the commentary box if he's not racing. Still a long way to go, so might as well. So this will actually bring not Sebastian right to the end of Gafpeak. Force will have to put surely to fend off these two because they have the advantage. Both of them under the fresh rubber. Not Sebastian, of course, only a lap where Gafpeak did 8 already. Oh, and another 5-second penalty. Severe collision with Force. 80 and then Force just can't keep their hands off each other. Force finally in the pit as Gafpeak and not Sebastian come into one corner. Gafpeak diving into the pits.
So does Sebastian.
And not Sebastian. This is different. I think Force will not be. Actually, not Sebastian.
The same.
Oh, not Sebastian have to stop in the same pit box as the Peak. Oh no.
That just went horribly wrong, and I can imagine what swear words are coming from there.
First, for a moment it looks like there's for a moment it looks like there was a flacker front wing going on that not sober car, but
actually, my word!
And now not Sebastian can't get out blocked because of a car. Unfortunately, folks, this is multiplayer car. This is what happens. You don't have the same garage as your teammate. You just get a random garage. You stop wherever the AI want to let you stop. So all of a sudden, for not Sebastian. He had to double stack behind the Peak, and then there was another car double stacked in front of him, so he couldn't release in time. But if you saw that, actually both Gafpeak and not Sebastian changed front wings, so that explains why we stopped again. And now Nismax are not giving his head of not Sebastian, and not what he wanted to see. The top 5 all on soft tyres, and not Sebastian like a good 20 seconds behind Nismax, and Force is actually actually played in Force's hands. Force got the lead. In theory, not Sebastian and Gaspic should have been in front, but clearly there was damage when those guys had to stop, unfortunately.
Oh,
And another span in the works.
At least it is still safety car, so they can still catch up. But that's not where you want to be.
Your Force, I think, you know what you spoke about this Force and his bad luck. It looks like Force's luck is finally changing. Okay, and if someone can just turn down the stream a little bit. Hearing myself echo. Mr. Not Fernando, are you here?
Hello, hello.
There we go, there's the cat.
How are you doing?
I'm alright, and you? I just put my headphones on.
Of course, coming into the sector now where Not Fernando retired, unfortunately. You want to take us through that, if you don't mind?
Like to, but I'm not really sure what happened. Just the back end stepped out and it was sort of one wall into another wall, and I didn't see any wheels come off the car, but yeah, it led to retirement. So I'm not sure if somebody made contact with me after, I don't know, but yeah, no, it was a bit of a bit of ping pong between the walls actually. So not ideal.
If
But,
Codemasters is listening, a replay feature for the guys in the comments box would be brilliant.
I know that would be brilliant, but I think that would be brilliant on just about any game. I can't think of a game with that, but I know.
So look like Force finally got the good luck. Munoz got, not Sebastian's got bad luck. He should have been there right with a peak. Instead, he finds himself behind Nismax and not Kimi. Well, from our point of view, it's maybe probably interesting for the championship. Of course, for him it's not, because it puts him behind his closest championship rivals.
Prior to retiring, about 5 minutes before retiring, Jeff said rain in 15 minutes. So,
and yet the sun is shining again.
So I really don't know. Weather looked really bad at the start of the race. Things actually cleared up.
And very close again, and now it looks like the sun again.
We'll see what happens. Still a long way to go. Not even
halfway
halfway
yet. Yes.
So,
It looked bad when just before you retired. It looked like it was about to start raining just when Nismax came into pit.
Yeah, it did.
Then it looked like.
And
it
a
was
welcome
about to
there
rain.
for Mr. Not Fernando. RJDV just saying welcome to the comms box there, J-Man.
Hello, Rob.
Oh, you must
So,
do your Bladen impression.
we're under. I'm not doing that. There's only 5 people watching. There's not enough likes. No, I'm not doing that. So lap 29.
Unbelievable.
We're not at halfway distance, and it's actually the first full-on safety car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Add two virtual safety cars, one of which
There we go. I was just about to say, surely safety car comes in, and there we go. Safety car is coming in this lap, so we'll be back. So the top 6 all on soft tires, so it's everybody on the same tire, so it's going to be an all-out go after the safety car comes in. Oh, and 80 actually amongst the two flackers. I think Foss will enjoy this, because Foss had a hard time getting past 80. And then, of course, Foss's teammate now need to get past him.
Guys want to be careful here on the restart. Obviously, you've been behind the safety car for the past 3 laps. No matter how much you've been weaving.
Foss is on his way.
Tires aren't going to be up
Gapping
to
immediately,
temperature.
3-second time penalty, and he's going to have to try to get past 80. This is where Foss want to capitalize, open a gap, but no, 80 is not going to fight Gaffbeek as much as he made Force's life living hell earlier. So Foss will have his teammate to compete with. Nismax now need to get past 80, not Kimi also to have his teammate.
These two now in a very strong position.
All of a sudden you got 3 times 2, meaning you got 2 teammates, 2 teammates, 2 teammates for 2 flakkers. Then one of the BBPs, then the 2 not sobers, and then the other BBP. I think ZDV will be very happy with this.
I see your teammates are starting to fight each other.
Oh yes.
Ooh.
Now they need to get past 80. 80 finds himself in a very tight spot here. Running risk of extra blue flags and that possible DSQ.
Now, Eddie needs to get out of the way though.
He just needs to pull out of the way. You don't want to get involved in these guys' battle.
Ooh.
He's not doing himself any favors trying to fight these guys. Being lapped.
Oh, actually, and he got out of the way up. He got out of the way.
He should have just pulled over. He should have already just pulled
out,
over. He's last on track, but he was nowhere else. He could have just get out of the way and let them all go in one go.
If you're getting lapped one by one, but if you're getting lapped by a group like that, it's
just
you know,
pull
really
over.
Just get out of the way.
Let them get out of the way. You don't want to be the reason their battle is gone because you're going to hear this afterwards. And now he's fighting with Quinton.
In a battle.
He's fighting with a lap car. Belgium? No, I lie. Brazil 2018. Ocon, Max Verstappen coming to mind here.
You really want to go there? Do you really want to go there?
Oh, there we go. 80 with another 5-second penalty, ignoring blue flags.
He's got a few. He really has to get a few. Let me just.
Oh yeah, he's way over 20. He's way over 20 seconds in penalties already.
He's got a 5-second penalty.
He's running a risk of seriously getting disqualified.
So he's got 2 penalties, 2
have
penalties, warning 5 seconds.
On the flag of so some distance between them. Between the rest of the grid, Nismax 2 seconds behind Gaffbeek 4 tenths, just under 5 tenths from his teammate. Not that Foss want to see this. Can Foss survive and just, absorb that pressure from his teammate?
And not Maverick is 4 tenths off Chin.
It's like Gaffbeek wants to prove something tonight. He's really racing the wheels of that car. Force as well, he would just hope his luck stays.
Ooh, and Springbok Gamer got a little bit squally there.
The guys that's in the group, the guys that's been around will know why we keep referring to the luck, because that's one of the guys that had the worst possible luck this season.
Ooh. Chen just getting his elbows out there on
there we go, not Maverick. Surely not Maverick. DRS is available, so surely he will have DRS. Here we go. Can he make? Springbok Gamer would like to get some time. Oh, and another second time penalty for 80.
And
there we go.
And Maverick just around the outside.
Yeah, and he had the inside and DRS, of course. And that actually did bring Springbok Gamer closer. So Chen is actually and Chen runs wide. For now, he fends off Springbok Gamer, but surely Springbok Gamer is going to pressure him.
And Gav is trying to make a move on his teammates.
They're not far from the judge. Nakimi actually within DRS range now from Nismax. Here we go, riding here with Gaffbeek.
Gav's going to get DRS now on his teammate. But he's easy, close enough.
But I think Gaffbeek's got more penalties than his teammate, if I'm not mistaken.
Not Kimi 5 tenths off Nismax. What DRS?
Not at this stage. Just a bit far back there.
Ooh, Springbok Gamer and Chin. Ooh, there was a battle over there.
Because Springbok Gamer on the softer tyre. Last time around it was also different tyres when they were that close. AD had one of his better races last week. Tonight it's just not going his way. Finding himself in the battle of this, and that obviously results in those blue flags.
Not Maverick is close to the judge, and he should.
He's getting into his own now. He's getting on with it now. It's on the soft tyre, so he's now finally. That car is finally coming to life. This is the not Maverick we know.
No, he's got a better drive at the exit.
Got a much better drive. He's got the soft tyre. He's going to have DRS now. But Judge not fending too much on the inside. Surely that will release not Maverick. Coming into the chicane, not Maverick's got the advantage. And he makes the move. There we go. And of course he will have DRS just to make sure he keeps that position.
He likes that line. He did it to
There
Chin.
we go. Not Maverick safe into 8th. He will now be chasing after Boinkies. Meanwhile, in front, not Kimi still trying to find a way past this match.
And Gav is trying to find a way past his teammate
but
as well.
But he dropped off a bit actually, as we see a good shot there for what whoever is like. It's for no sun again. Becoming more of a reality, what Jeff said earlier.
Well, does it from this angle on the casino straight? It does look a little bit darker than it did a few seconds ago.
No more sun rays coming through.
Very strange weather conditions. When we started the race,
Gap becoming very close to the wall of champions there. Keep it up, my son, and you will soon be in tears. That's whatever thought that comes to mind. Just have to watch those lines on the curves, especially out of the last part of the chicane into World Champions. Okay, never mind now, I think they are pretty much equal on penalties.
Chen's got DRS on the judge, going to turn 1.
Chen gonna make a move on the judge soon.
Well, he's got
Springbok Gamer right, and he's pulling Springbok Gamer through. Springbok Gamer is actually getting a nice tow. Surely both of them can get past the judge. But the judge had a good race actually. Ran in the top 10 for a long time. Ag nee, seker op. Moenie praat van bok van blertjie. Jy hoor van praat dan maar eerder oor jou Power Rangers. Mr. Fernando, it's not RZDV anymore, it's now Power Ranger 2000.
Do you actually want to explain the Rob from Blair thing to the viewers that are not of South Africa? No. I think I'm qualified.
No, I don't.
There's no need to share that with the rest of the world. Okay.
Ooh.
Guys, sorry, quickly. I'm seeing raindrops on Casino Street.
Yep, I also start seeing. Yeah, there we go. You can see it in the start-finish line as well. So the rain did start coming down. So we're gonna soon have a stop. I assume for Inter, unless it's one of those Mexico scenarios all over again, where it looks like it's raining. Where Jeff would say Inter, but meantime it's not the right call to stay on this dry tires.
Did Jeff not screw you over?
Okay,
in
Rob
that
asked
race?
you Casino Straight? Question mark? Question mark?
Casino Straight. Casino Straight. He would be referring to the back straight that leads up from the hairpin towards the chicane.
Correct. Of course, Rob knows Casino from Monaco, one of Rob's favorite tracks, of course.
Ooh,
everybody normally.
Oh, Chen just got.
Ooh.
Chen and Springbok Gamer just touched. Was that Springbok Gamer?
Got the yellow flag, but the minimap doesn't show which sector, unfortunately.
Sector 2. That was Sector 2, just before the hairpin going up to Casino Straight.
But Chen is Springbok Gamer, but I think Springbok Gamer was the one who came up worst because he's some distance behind. Chen's still trying to get down the judge. Of course, now Rob knows Casino from Monaco because that's obviously the one track where you always hear Casino. Not familiar with it being mentioned here, but of course correctly done. Well done there and nicely. And thanks for the confirmation, Mr. Not Fernando. Of course, I have the two guys that actually compete to be the Mr. Statsman. Because they're both clued up and of course very stats wise. You can always rely on one of them for that info. Always nice. It's a big privilege having him in the comms box.
Except guys, don't forget because Devon reads this stuff.
And it comes off Fernando just like that. That means the guy's a walking encyclopedia when it comes to F1.
Big moment
Devin
for
uses the
followed
Wikipedia.
Yeah, I have to
Followed
resort to
there by obviously
technology.
can only be Springbok gamers,
So,
so big moment
inter-
there happened. Oh, and came in with another penalty. Looks like it's actually coming down heavier now, so Inter is on the card. Some of the guys are slipping, especially coming into the hairpin as we just saw. Oh, Boinkies now with the second time penalty, so miss and not so clean anymore, Boinkies.
Interestingly enough,
Gafbeek falling back to his teammate.
interestingly
doing a
enough,
good job.
in the weather report before the race, it was only the very last block that was full wet weather, and the rest would have been in the dry. So
penalty.
this arriving at just over halfway distance. I know a lot of the guys already. There's a bit of a spin there for AD. He's facing the wrong way. He'll want to get that car straight again. He's got no front wing, so that'll be another trip back to the pits. Not having the best day, and now the rain is going to come down. And
It's disabled. Here we go.
Inters.
Inters. You guys are going to start flying in.
And AD is actually on. And Springbok Gamers is actually on.
Springbok Gamers the first guy on Inters. He just swam the right time at the right part of the track. He managed to dive in the right time. He's on Inters.
now these two teammates do not have the same garage. You saw them coming in together, but Munna does share a garage with Gavin. There's a slight glitch on this game. That even if Munna arrives at the pit after Gavin has left, he is going to feel the effect of Gavin having been there.
Springbok Gamers just spun out of turn 3, into turn 4.
Watch Sebastian. He's going to come into the.
Oh, no, he's
Where
got
is
wing
Sebastian?
damage so much. He just stopped. Now he's going to have to stop again.
Yes, no end plate. That's not gonna feel well, especially when the rain
Judge and
starts
Chen
to come
fighting.
down.
Maverick into the pits.
Judge,
Chen is on his way.
Everybody
Maverick
diving
Here comes
into the
AD.
pits.
Here comes AD. So everybody will be pretty much on their way
and
on Inters.
Chen actually just Chen just overshot Judge in the pits, so
Yes.
it looks like that worked out in the pits for him.
This will now be a race of two halves as the rain begins to come down.
Force, as I said, doing a good job. Force's luck is coming into play again. He's down to 4th. Didn't work out for him in the pit stops. He's got Nismax and not Kimi ahead of him. Can Nismax take
and
this
they all
fight to
pitted.
Gafbeek?
Kimi pitted for Inters, Nismac pitted for Inters.
All of
Gav
them are in
pitted for
Inters.
Inters,
All of
yeah.
them. 80 still, but 80 for some reason got sent out. Oh boy, first race is going horribly wrong for 80.
Not having the
Well,
best
80
time
still
of
on
it.
softs though. 80 got softs on, fresh set of softs.
How's this for you? Hear this, clown? Yeah, we must race Monaco next season, midnight, full wet.
It's,
Yeah.
Can only be wrong.
No.
that's not going to be a thing. So Gavin leads at 1.8 seconds. The gap was 2.2 seconds half a lap ago. So this Max is making up a little bit of ground.
But
Like I
as you
was
say,
saying, it's
the
going to
gap
be a
opened
race
up
of
again.
two halves, driving in the dry and driving in the wet. Two very different arts.
Oh yes.
And if you've set that car up, like I said, only the last block was rain. The rest
Supposedly.
was dry. So the guys could have gone with the dry setup and just thought, well, it's only the last piece. I just need to hold it together for a couple of laps. And if that's the case, then they're going to have a badly set up car for the next 29 laps.
Can Nismax reel in Gafbeek? You would love to have another win. Already have 2 wins this season. Most wins so far this season is not Kimi, of course, followed by Nismax with those 2. Of course, Gafbeek would want to also have 2 wins. Of course, one the second race there in Australia. Nismax won't mind too much because as it is, he's still ahead of the guys that's following him as they are in the championship standings. But of course a win will see Gaspig actually closing down the gap a bit, coming closer to them, and of course all to fight for. So as it is tonight, if it's going to end like now, we still don't have a champion. It's going to come down to the last race next week before we see who's going to be the champion for this final season of F1 2019.
This is stressful. Bloody hell.
Well, me and Dave is going to have to be on the calculator to do live stats or whatever to determine champions as it happens. And of course, when there's still penalties, it's going to make things difficult.
Maths on a Friday night, guys. Maths on a Friday night. Oh my word.
We want to do maths on a Friday. That's when you should be drinking.
Especially since lockdown is going into level 3 on Monday, so...
Hey, man, and it's going to be a good week next week. Our favourite stores are open, even if it's just for 4 days, it's better than nothing.
I can think of a few guys that need a race engineer at this point in time.
Some people are going to have to get extended lunch, sneak out or something, or get family or friends to buy, because shame, some of the guys working in that time.
Can I read you guys a bit of a paragraph?
Oh wow, you're going to read, you're not going to recite it? Wow, okay.
The final corner of Circuit Gilles-Villeneuve, well known as the Wall of Champions.
Yep.
In 1999, Damon Hill, Michael Schumacher and Jacques Villeneuve all crashed into that corner. And
it was the same race, same race weekend.
Victims of the corner: Nico Rosberg, Juan Pablo Montoya, Carlos Sainz Jr., Jenson Button, Kevin Magnussen.
But Kevin Magnussen was practice. Was it a practice section or qualifying? I can't remember.
Well done, not Fernando, but Devin actually beat you to that statistic tonight. The same thing earlier. But it just shows you again, of course, just re-emphasizing what that corner can do and how many people fell victim. And as I say that, Max was pretty much there in this Max and Gaffney coming into this again and not giving me that far off. Here we go, Nismax on the outside. What can Gaffney do? Him off Nismax, he will have inside, and Nismax is in the lead.
Oh, into the Wall of Champions!
Gaffney crashed.
There goes a wing.
Oh, and that sees Frost and...
Oh, doesn't.
Not Sebastian, just a little too far back. So Gaffney, and Gaffney's obviously going to have to dive in the pits.
But he can't dive in the pit. Oh, could he? How did he dive in the pits?
He was actually on that corner going into the pit, so he could. So not Sebastian through, so Boinky surely will also come through.
No change.
Fourth up in third, not Kimi now in second. Nismax in first place, that's a place to be. But he's going to feel the pressure from not... Because not Kimi is not going to make it easy for him.
Mr. Fernando, we can't actually hear you. You're a bit far.
That's why I say it can be deceiving. He got him there on turn 1.
Yo, that guy is he's way off. Yeah. Okay, he's accommodating people, but we can't hear him. Oh, and 80 retires. Whole race finally comes to an end for 80. We're down to 12 drivers.
Kevin obviously now down to 7th.
Yeah, he's back.
Maverick hot on his tail.
Yes, not Maverick is not gonna make it easy for the big.
Really, as Gavin came out.
And not Kimi actually made a move. Not Kimi in the lead. He's ahead of Nismax. I said he's not gonna make it easy for Nismax, and he didn't take long. Oh, it looks like Nismax is battling a bit. That BPP car's not the happiest car on this wet track. Advantage, not Kimi, because all of a sudden that gap's opening up and we're approaching a second. Not Kimi actually starting to get away from Nismax. Of course, 5 seconds falling back to these two.
Interesting enough, Fernando actually did explain to me, or not Fernando, explained to me what is wrong with my setup when it comes to the rain.
Don't be a complete idiot. Why would you want to go back to 5? No, man.
What?
What?
It says we can go back to level 5. As we always say, Rob, don't be a P.
And if You're lucky we're on YouTube and Devon's Twitch, because if we were on my Twitch, I wouldn't have used the letter. I would have used the word.
Thank you for not using it.
It rhymes with
Not using the P. By not
40,
finna.
lap 45 of 70, 25 laps to go, 24 laps to go, lap 46
24
now.
laps, yeah.
Yeah, 24
Jimmy
after this one.
leads just over a second. Nothing in it. Force still in third.
Force still
Remember,
dropping
guys,
off,
there's,
but Nismax still hanging on there, so he's not letting Kimi get away that much. So Kimi will still have to watch his behind. Nismax, of course, is one of those guys that actually won't bounce immediately, but he's going to be there. He's going to wait for you to make that mistake. Of course,
Matt
if things were to change.
Matt popping in the comment section saying hello. How's it going, Matt?
Hello, Matty. What's up, Bootman?
Waiting for F1 2020.
Yeah.
Going to be joining us in the future. Matt, also a previous
champion, a double champion.
TNB champion. He did it twice. Won
In
it
a row.
the first time, and then obviously defended that title. So
one of the few that who actually managed to defend it, win it, and then defend it the very next season.
If I'm not mistaken, he's the only TNB champion to defend his title.
To take it to two seasons in a row, yes. So yeah, some good stuff there, Matt, to remember. Of course, like I said to Y Racer, of course, earlier, you guys are always welcome. It's just that going forward, we will be on Discord, so feel free to join us here on Discord, even if it's just to be part of a social chat and, of course, to talk there with the guys. But of course, it will be nice to see you guys on track again as soon as circumstances allow it. Of course, always nice to see the guys come back and fight for guys. It's always nice to see this camaraderie against the racers. Also with another penalty.
Just increasing the gap ever so slightly. Must say, I don't know how much trust you can put in that standing sheet you see on the left-hand side of your screen. Because every time you see a gap that's pretty close, 1 second, 7 seconds, 7 seconds, 3 seconds, those could all be wrong. There's penalties for days.
Yeah. Just to go there with Matt, either Devon or Jonathan will share the link with you. It is also under the TNB page on Twitter. It was posted in Twitter earlier, but Jonathan will send it to you.
No.
There we go, Matt. You will have a link to Discord very soon.
And everybody say welcome in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Discord, Matt.
So it was nice to see the guys who were like Matt and Yuri, even if they can't race, due to circumstances being at work, which is pretty much why Matt missed out because of work commitments and stuff. But it's still nice to see the guys pop in and have a couple of conversations with the guys in the group. Nice to see these, this friendship building, guys in different parts of the world. But this is the one thing that brings us all together for F1, playing the game. So yeah, always nice to see.
Certainly not the weather that's bringing us together.
Hold on. Force is now almost 9 seconds in Nismax, where the gap between Nismax and Kimi is approaching 2 seconds.
Kimi just looks that much more comfortable in this part of the race. It could also be to do with his setup, though.
Yeah, Rob,
Kimi likes his setup.
Mr. Yeah. Rob just saying he won his title with pure luck and it will never happen again. Yeah, Mr. Purple Sector. Force just now getting past Springbok Gamer, putting a lap on him. Of course, Vino's race also went from good to really bad. Of course, disconnected control of that car now. That car is actually pretty much a lap down. And Nismax is now almost 2.5 seconds. He's not able to hang on, and so is Force.
Ooh,
so
Kimi's jumping in the pits. I heard Kimi and Sebastian jumping in the pits.
Conditions really suiting, not Kimi. And if things are to finish as is now, if things are to finish as is, not Kimi's going to be our race leader. There we go, Matt is on Discord.
Muna just jumped in the pits for full wets.
Yeah.
So is Quinton, so
I
is
was just
Gavin,
about to
so
ask,
is
is somebody
Maverick.
going to follow pursuit? What? Because he
Mate,
looked
thanks
comfortable
for,
on his Inters. He was definitely
thanks
the
for,
fastest guy.
Now we got all of a sudden 4 cars on wets, so
Yes.
yes, guys are following suit. Sebastian, Quinton, Gavpig, and not Maverick, all on wets. Everyone else remains on Inters for the time being.
Nice to see
But
Matt back in action.
conditions do look.
Yeah, guys are actually all diving in now. Chen also
Don't look
in,
too good
Bino
at
also
all.
in. But again, Will not Kimi because he looked the most comfortable of them all, and yes, he's actually coming in for full weight
Dives
as well.
into the pits, that's the leader. Let's have a look. Nizmax follows him into the pits.
Yes.
Where is Force? Force is heading
Surely
up that casino straight.
Will
He'll
Force
surely
pit.
dive into the pits as well.
No,
No,
he
doesn't.
stays out. Force is going to stay out
He
on the
goes-
Inters. Is this a clever
goes-
move or not? Is this going to bite him?
Hope
Now
it doesn't
Kimi is
come back
underway
to
again.
bite him.
This Max is also underway again.
Now, has he been promoted to the lead? He's going to come out right in front of
But
Kimi.
surely he's going to
1.9
feel the
seconds.
pressure. Not Kimi is confident as it is already, and now he's got the full weight, and pretty much everyone else is on full weight. So was that a gamble from Force, or does he feel he can do it on his Inters? Well, not
Well,
Kimi
Kimi
already
is right.
making a
Doesn't
move.
seem
There we
like
go.
it.
Not Kimi taking
Kimi
the
really
lead.
got-
Oh, bit
goes
of
up
a
the
slide.
inside. There was a bit of a slide. Got a bit worried for a second. But both make it
Sebastian
through.
Lope style, aka rally, but he did it, he made it, and now Nisbek's going to put Force under pressure. So those Inters were not a good idea to do another lap on.
Didn't react fast
Kimi
enough.
back in the
Went
lead.
1 lap too late. Now this is crucial time for Nizmax. He will want to get by. He's obviously getting slowed down by the car on Inters. While Kimi's getting away a bit at the front. 1.7 seconds now the gap. Goes side by side coming out of the
Force
hairpin.
just making like a
Oh,
oh,
there we go.
Force
Collision.
actually moved. Force was actually one side of the track, and then he
Safety
moved.
car and safety cars out.
Nismax in
And
the
goes
pit
out.
wall, into the wall, be coming down Casino straight. Now Force have to
Everyone
put,
now-
and Nismax have to put again.
Everyone will now head into the pits. Everyone will be on wets obviously at the end of this lap. Now we've got a safety car
Yeah,
in torrential conditions. And we know
into not
How
Sebastian
easy-
and
how
No,
easy it is to get
he's
a
going on.
penalty.
He's going on safe. He's going on
it's going to
Inters
go
again.
on Inters
Forces-
again.
He's,
Forces
uh,
on
he's-
Inters again.
yeah, I'm watching him there in the pits. He's
Oh.
hello.
And they're coming out
Okay.
together.
He's put on a set of intermediates and he's on his way. I wonder if that is a jet call.
Not
that a
Sebastian in the
force
pits again.
call?
Oh, not Sebastian, also with a wing change.
Or is this now just
Oh.
Force's
I
luck?
was just bringing Boinkies and stuff one quick.
This has actually brought Force and Nizmax back out in second and third
Gapping
once
now also
again.
ahead of not Sebastian.
The only
Force
one that's on
21
Inters is
seconds
Force.
now. So surely this was actually for not Kimi, but now the safety car is going to close that gap. He had a nice gap there. But the safety car is going to equalize it. And that was the safety car came out because of that Force Nismax incident. Force not leaving Nismax much room, and Nismax had the better tyre, so obviously he had the momentum.
This will hopefully bring everybody back together, give us a bit of a shootout going into the final 18 or 19 laps of this race.
Yeah. Look at
Obviously there's
is a lot
already been
happened.
penalties for days, and these are probably the easiest conditions to pick up penalties in this game.
Yep.
Is behind a safety car in the
Yes.
wet. So
Which is more severe.
guys need to be careful. Some of the guys are already having 12 to 15 seconds of penalties when I was still in the race. So that was quite some time ago.
Springbok Gamer disqualified, ignoring yellow flag.
whoa!
Springbok Gamer.
Things
I
are
haven't
just going weird.
seen that on my screen just yet.
Yet.
Well, he's still in the race though. I'm not sure because on my screen it showed disqualified, but he's still driving around.
He is driving around it. Let's just have a look here. Go to
Things
race
before.
director. See what.
I see Matt was saying he missed the boots at least some of us. So yeah, I won't say who Matt didn't miss. I think one of them he didn't miss was one guy in the Flakker car.
We're not gonna mention names now. But so Kimi still leads the race. He leads by it's 1.5 seconds. Safety car. Is Voss gonna come in on those inters? Was it a mistake?
If he doesn't come in, they actually play into Kimi's hand on the restart because Voss might hold up the rest of the pack, and Kimi can get away. Of course, Nismax is going to try to get a jump on him this time. Surely, it's still heavy rain, and yeah, the safety car is going to be out for a lap or three, but surely this is not going to be dry enough for Inters.
Safety car light's still on, so it will be out for another lap. Now it's a tricky position here for Voss because the longer he stays out, the more that group is going to bunch up. The further back he's going to join the race. So if he's going to do it, he needs to do it now. And if conditions don't, he's staying out. Yeah, he's staying out on those inters. So maybe conditions improve and the gamble pays off.
Not Maverick.
But they're gonna have to improve quick, real quick.
But looking at the rainfall now, it doesn't look like it's going to improve before the sun comes in. Taking a bit of a gamble maybe, but it's not going to pay off.
Safety car, I think, will be in on this lap. We'll know a little bit later.
Yeah, I don't want to see safety car. We want to see racing because this has been one epic race.
It's now the second safety car, second virtual safety car, I think, 2 of each. I caused 1 of each. Good times. First safety car was my retirement, and the first virtual safety car was me and the Wall of Champions, actually. Just the wing on that occasion.
But the damage between Voss and Nismax is a bit of a tough one to bring out a safety car, especially no car spinning, nobody was on track. And yet, if you look at the first retirement car boy, the Wall of Champions, that was just a VSC. Very weird.
Yeah.
Because it should have been the other way around. This should have been just a VSC. That one should have been a safety car.
Oh well, safety car lights are
in this lap.
Yeah, there we go. Nicely called, Mr. Fernando.
Safety car in this lap. Kimi will obviously be at the restart, leading the race. He's going to have Voss right behind him on a set of intermediates.
Nismax got Vino to contend with as well before he can make a move.
We've all got different camera angles. I'm gonna ride on board with Nismax.
Same, yeah. That's actually where I am as well. Vino looks like he's boosting his AI.
Vino seems to be
and Kimi
in that bunch, and we know that if he's disconnected, so I'm gonna ride on board with Voss. Let's see.
Oh, Voss very cautious into that chicane. Those Inters not doing, and Kimi already almost 2 seconds ahead. Oh, Gaff, another time penalty.
Nismax gonna have a go on Vino. To get past Vino? Yes, he does. He gets past Vino
surely
now.
He's going to be able to put Voss under pressure now in the next few corners. Oh, yellow flag again. Not Maverick. Gaffik also down the place.
Out. Surely Nismax will swallow him up in the next couple of corners.
Gaining Voss already 3 seconds behind Kimi. Nismax going to have a look on the inside, knowing he's got the weights. He can break him.
Oh, and
side by side, and
Voss spun. And Voss spun.
Not going to be happy with that.
But after all those injuries were definitely not the right call. And now it's going back, and you called it, and yet again another thing, Mr. Not Fernando, you called it. You said if he's going to start dropping, he's going to drop fast, and he's going to drop a couple of places. Not with a pit like you suggested when he finally goes with a spin. But unfortunately, those inters were not the right call.
And he should have a set of wets though.
No, surely you should have.
This is one of those action-packed races.
Three sets of wets should be. Maybe.
Again, we got a safety car out again. We just resumed, and yet we got another safety car.
Safety car out again. We're not sure what happened. Don't see any incident on the circuit. Don't see any additional
Gaspik is in the pits. I think it might be Gaspik, because Gaspik stopping for another wing.
Force
Safety
now
car,
coming
bring
into the
safety-
pits.
Safety
Flacco
cars, bring
boys are
safety
not.
cars.
The Flacco boys are really in the battle zone tonight.
Said it would be a race of two halves. When the rain started coming down, these two were in first and second. Don't forget, when I joined the combox, they were in first and second. And things were really lining up to be a fantastic race for them. Then the rain started falling a bit harder. Tyre choices.
Boinkies in there, and Boinkies
And
will
Fuss.
actually also then leapfrog not Sebastian in the championship. So you're going to pretty much have a situation where you can see Kimi leading from Nismax, from Boinkies, from not Sebastian, if things were to finish as it is now. 15 laps
Things
to
are
go.
going to go down. Things will go down to round 10, that's for sure.
Definitely.
No champion here
Yeah.
tonight.
And
Going down
Fuss
to
is
round 10.
actually out on wets. A little
Yeah,
bit late
he-
now, though,
yeah.
I suppose.
And the guys
The
put it for
Red
which he
Bull
should have done
ring
it.
will be the decider, obviously.
Correct.
Red Bull Ring next week, same time. It's gonna one of my favorite tracks, with the exception of a certain hairpin. But for the rest of it, I
Nismax
really like
obviously
it.
now where he wants to be. Kimi when this race gets underway again. And Boinkies nicely in the mix thanks to all of his mishaps of other people. Actually
I
was
have
one of the
noticed.
biggest gainers.
I have noticed something in the game. It's either 3 or 4. You don't see more safety cars than that.
Correct.
If you have 3 or 4 right at the beginning, they stop, and then they're virtual safety cars. So there is like some sort of limit there, but it seems like we've just got a whole
Just for
smattering of
you,
them.
the judge running in 6th followed by Chen in 7th.
Would this actually be Chen's highest position? No way. He's finished 6th. No, he finished 6th.
8th or 7th, yeah, so that's pretty much with his
doing
highest.
Judge also doing a fantastic job. He's in 6th place. It's been a really eventful race.
Quiet race, but doing
And
the business.
he's managed to just keep his head down, stay out of trouble, stay out of. We haven't seen any real on-track excursions with him. He's just sort of kept himself, and he's up in 6th.
I said
We'll
it
be
earlier
hoping
about
for a good
BBP.
restart.
I said earlier about BBP. Now it's the case with Flakker, where the slowest of the 3 drivers are actually leading his teammates. It would
To
be-
everyone that's
he's like
watching
this.
on the YouTube, to everyone who's watching on the YouTube stream, I see we're up to 9 viewers. We're on 4 at a time.
Safety car in.
Got 3 likes.
Oh, safety
so,
car coming in. We'll
guys,
be racing soon.
hit the like button. Give us a like.
Subscribe.
Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, so that you can obviously be notified when we race. But here at TNB we obviously race 8 o'clock on a Friday night. That's South African time. And it's either 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in Britain. I don't know. They change their clocks all the time, so figure it out.
I let me change
Use Google.
Here we go.
Just-
Kimi has bolted. Nismax has responded. Boinky's not able to hold on, so it's good. Much Nismax and not Kimi taking us into this final quarter. Proper racing,
one on
full
the
bucket
inters.
speed.
No one on the inters at this restart. All on wets. No Vino separating Nismax and Kimi this time around. They're going to have a
Quentin would like to
proper
get
go
past
at each other.
Boinkies.
Similar age on the tyres as well, 7
Yes.
and 6. So I don't think tyres will come too much into it. It's going to be a dice to the end.
The wets don't weigh as much as the other tyres. This is definitely, if it stays like it is, this is going to be the tyres we're going to finish on.
And I see Quentin
Bob saying-
and not Sebastian is having an epic battle over
Yeah,
here.
and of course not far ahead is as Boinkies.
Oh,
Rob saying he's not looking forward to Austria. Does that mean Rob will make a return for the finale?
Oh,
Oh,
there we
Kimi
go.
goes.
Or
and
is he
Quentin
not
not
looking forward
for
to
the best
watching
of-
the race?
Now, not Sebastian passed, but of course keep in mind the penalties. Not Sebastian has a few, and I don't recall Quentin's with a
yellow
penalty.
safety cars out again.
A yellow other safety car. Oh my word.
For what?
What for now?
Absolutely insane
I haven't
now
even
at
seen
the
a
end
yellow
of the
flag.
race. This is crazy.
And
I'm
Rob
not
still said
actually...
there, there's not going to be another safety car because the limit's been reached. Yeah, so much for jinxing.
What is this? Number 4 now?
Yeah. Not even sure why this one came out.
Oh, everybody's still running.
Yes.
Yeah, but like I say, in the first the first time I brought out a virtual safety car, there was really no need for one. Okay,
Correct.
because I didn't actually hit the wall of champions. I hit the one wall and sort of bounced onto the other, but I hit the inside wall. But there was no one around me. There was no one near me. I didn't hit anyone. No one was at any risk of hitting me, and I got the car in a straight line and off I went. But
Scott, are you a pickle now?
before I could get going, there was already a Kimmy showing
Or is that probably
AI.
Kyle?
Why is that?
But you know what?
There we go. It's back. Obviously, just maybe pausing the game, having a drag.
Puff, yeah, it was just a quick drag, quick puff.
I don't see any. We still have got 12
True.
runners.
Something I thought about, Matt just suggesting there what I was thinking. Safety car just maybe releasing because of a wet track, like you've been seeing in real life. It happened before. It's very unusual, but it happened.
Could be very true. I never thought of that really for the game, but it could be possible.
It happens in real life, so when
I don't know. I
game.
usually retire in the rain, so I don't have much knowledge of what happens.
I seem to like the rain, especially last week. We did a bunch of 5 lappers on Suzuka. That was fun.
Yeah, Rob, see, anything is still possible. Now, if it's a wet story, 10-second penalty.
Ooh,
We're just feeling it. Ooh.
That was Sebastian.
But guys,
That would.
if we had finished now, it's still Nismax's race because he's been quite in the penalties compared to Kimi. And I think Nismax even got less penalties compared to Boinkies because Boinkies even got a penalty tonight.
I can just confirm for you. Where is Nismax? He's got no penalties.
So puts him in first. And Boinkies potentially in second if things were to finish as it is, depending obviously on the gap between them.
Boinkies got a one penalty, so that's
not
3
Kimi
seconds.
at least 6 or 9.
Sebastian's got.
No, I'm worried about not Kimi.
9, 12.
That Sebastian's going to drop down. He had a few penalties.
12, 15, 18.
You're potentially seeing Quentin actually
28
on the podium.
28 seconds for not Sebastian. Kimi has got 3, 6.
Safety car coming in.
12.
Okay, guys, as it is now with those penalties, you're pretty much going to see Nismax, Boinkies, and Quentin on the podium.
Yeah, not Kimi's got 12 seconds. Sebastian's got 28 seconds worth of penalties.
A lot of penalties there.
I just want to check Chen. I saw his name come up a few times.
I think Robert just keep quiet. He's jinxing this thing, jinxing everybody.
Chen's got 3.
There's
6,
one more race
9,
left,
12.
which is next Friday. The season finishes in Austria. Then we'll obviously also know who's the champion of the season.
So Chen's got 17 seconds worth of penalties as well. So that will promote.
Oh, another 5-second penalty for Force.
Ooh, how much does Force have?
This has been one of those topsy-turvy race, a race of 2 halves, like John has said. But yeah, things have been changing around. Nismax obviously now on grips with Kimi. He's not going to let Kimi get away that quick, but then again, Nismax just need to keep it clean, not pick up any penalties. He's guaranteed of a win, even if he doesn't finish, get over the start-finish line first. Because those penalties will come into play here.
Gotta be really careful what you say here. Remember, you're a commentator, we're in Canada, and it's very wet. There's got parts on this track where the barriers come very close, and it just takes a mistake. Still 10 laps to go.
That's not cursed. We leave it to Rob. Rob has been jinxing people tonight.
Force has actually got 31 seconds worth of penalties.
Oh wow!
Rob doing the commentary curse from the
comment
section.
Yeah.
So as
Nismax just dropping a little bit more time to Kimi. Boinki's not being able to hold on. He's going to feel the pressure. Bastian very soon. Judge holding on to 6 still, but not Maverick now past 10. Oh, another penalty for not Sebastian.
There we go. He's
And
actually
not
got no
Ma-
end plate.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
he's
starts
got-
with wing damage again. Another Flacco
Chin.
boy making contact with the wall of champions.
Chen's got 5-second penalty.
Gap
Ooh,
picking 10th.
yeah.
No, he's
Well,
not,
Gapik
if
actually got wing
he's,
damage as well.
As he
It's Gapik, not Force.
damaged his
Sorry.
wing.
It was not Gapik. Sorry, it was not Force. It was Gapik who hit the wall of champions again. That's why he's got the wing damage.
Yeah,
Now
he's got
down
no end plate.
More when the in plate gone there. That's severe damage. He's going to have to stop
The
again
best-
because he can't continue like this.
Sebastian's also got no end plate.
Oh, things
Yeah.
are going pear-shaped for a couple of guys here.
Let's just have a look at
Chen
pit stops.
got
So
no
not
end
Kimi,
plate.
not Kimi has done 4 pit stops. Nismax has done 4 pit stops. Boinki's 3, Sebastian 5, Quinton 4, Judge 3. Not Maverick 4, Force 4, Chen 3. Gavin has the record
Yeah,
for today so far, 6.
Oh wow,
Springbok
and he's going to
Gamer
make
5,
another one
and
soon. Oh,
Vino
and another
4.
3 seconds for Kimi.
Penalties continue to rack up, and I think that's going to allow Quinton to sneak onto the podium yet again. And he's
Definitely.
been having some great finishes in the recent past.
And
That does bring Gavin back
A
into the
double
pits.
podium tonight here, but obviously if you have Quinton and Nismax finishing there, this will pretty much seal the constructors for BPP.
Can't change the wings this many times, boys. It's all about the budget cap these days.
where are they actually going to find another wing?
I mean, they're gonna start like with the engine rule. You know, you get 4 front wings for the year, and then you're done.
That's
And
it.
you're just gonna have the one that sort of looks best. Use that for Monaco.
So Jan, with 8 laps to go, we probably have to touch on driver of the day.
Okay,
Since
we
we've got-
can, but that's actually going to, because now you're playing my hand. I wanted to leave it a little bit later, but thank you,
Ooh.
Mr. Devon. Going forward from next season, of course, we're going to keep the points as is this season. I saw several of the drivers who signed up for next season. They actually asked, can we perhaps keep this point system as is currently? I'm definitely going to keep it like that. Which means bonus points for the pole, bonus points for fastest lap.
Oh, there goes not Sebastian, another
With 2
in plate.
If we're going to go
Gone.
F1 cars and only 2 drivers in a team, we're not going to do the bonus points for full team on the grid. But of course, if we do multiplayer cars and there's 3 players in a team again, like this season, we will. Of course, and something we're looking at introducing is having a driver of the day, as will
What are we
be
doing that now,
judged
actually?
commentators. So the
I thought we
commentator
were doing it now.
then come up, and of course, and that person who will be voted driver of the day will get 5 bonus points. So it will pay to do a good drive, a clean drive, stay out of trouble. Of course, you might just get points for being driver of the day. Doesn't mean you need to be the winner or the fastest.
I do apologize for playing your hand. I actually thought we were doing that from tonight.
No, that's
My
fine.
bad.
You can still do it, but I'm not going to give points. Nothing stop you from
Yeah, we
calling out.
can't. We're not gonna. We can still do maybe the driver of the day, not the points for
Yes.
the final 2 rounds. Obviously, we don't want to.
No, we're not.
We don't want to. We don't want to change anything at this late
Exactly.
stage. The championship is so close, going into round 10, and
But nothing stops us
yeah, I'm
from
not.
stop you
I'm not
from
even
naming a
sure.
driver of the day,
guys,
Devin.
you guys are gonna have to. You guys are gonna have to do the maths, so we can figure out what's what going into round 10.
I'm actually going to go with Rob on this one. I agree. Like John has said, I'm not going to give points for it because I mean this late in the season. Definitely season. But I'm going to go there with Rob. I'm going to also say Nismax. If you looked at the start, he actually went all the way down. A recovery drive at first spot, and from there he had a nice clean race, except obviously when he and Foss collided. Still, that didn't put him back. He still came out fighting. He kept his nose clean despite all of that pushing like crazy. He still managed to go penalty. Wherever most guys around him went nuts with penalties. Then
Sebastian.
pretty much he's up there. So I'm gonna still say Nismax.
Sebastian's down in 6th place, and he's actually coming under pressure from the judge.
Judge.
I think
The
that
judge of all people.
I think that front wing is having
Definitely.
a serious
Here you go,
effect
Judge is
on
gonna
the
put,
handling of that car.
But Judge is gonna try to make a move on that Sebastian here.
He's
We
going
got
to
the
break
inside.
that little
Oh,
bit
he's
late
like,
and
and
he
that's
runs
gonna
wide.
get
Done
the
it.
Judge through.
Yeah.
Of course, no
done it.
DRS in the
Sebastian
wet.
runs a little bit wide.
But Sebastian
yeah,
got a good drive again. He's going to challenge the Judge here, but the Judge is going to stay on the inside.
Ooh, they just have to watch it all.
Obviously no
but
DRS,
Sebastian's gonna be the
otherwise
drive.
if they had DRS, Force would have actually got DRS on that
Oh,
straight, because
not
he was
Sebastian
behind
runs
at the...
Just to take too much of a corner. But I think, as it is now, the Judge will still jump, not Sebastian, because of a less penalty count.
I
But just
wonder
to
if
come
he'd
back
be
on
battling
your-
so hard if he knew that.
To get back onto your driver of the day, Johan, I
Like
will
me.
have to agree with you. It is Nismax. Came back from last, I suppose. Second
Of course,
last.
that corner incident when he got bumped in. Someone bumped into him right at the start. Recovered all the way. Drove a good race since then. Had that incident a few laps ago with the rain early stages where we're forced coming down Casino Straight. But yeah, he's and just controlled his race, because as it is, even if he stays in second, he is taking the
There we
win.
go again, sorry, Judge, going yet again, going wheel to wheel there, that casino hairpin this time.
Force
Sebastian on the
fighting.
inside.
Force past
Gonna
Chin,
try
now
the
gap pick is
switchback.
behind Chin.
Switchback doesn't work, he's gonna try and stay as
Soon
close as
these
he can.
Flakka boys might be very close to each other. Force is actually on Inter, so is Gavpeak. This might be now the right time to be on Inter, but who would want to stop this late?
As
Judge
things
putting-
stand, I think Judge and Sebastian just switches positions, but Force, Gavin, Chen,
Gavpeak is
they've
also
all
past Chin now.
they've all got penalties, and
Yes.
they've all got severe penalties.
Correct.
So
But he goes over the finish line. Just keeping it clean, keeping his nose out of it, not fighting too hard. Because there's still a to breach. You must just be careful to fall off too far. But I think there's like 15 seconds penalties on Kimi's side. And as it is now, pretty much 15, so Quinton will have to pick up the pace a bit to make sure he gets that third place. Because more than 15 seconds will still be on the podium.
Quentin is about 16 seconds off the leader, or he's off Kimi.
Yes.
So 3 laps, he needs about a second, but more than a second.
Because if I'm not mistaken, not Kimi's penalties is 15 seconds.
I can confirm that for you quickly. Hold on.
Not Sebastian picking up another 3-second time penalty, so that will just increase. Carry on doing your maths.
Yep.
15 seconds for Kimi, yes. 15
Yeah.
seconds.
Judge,
So
Judge is in
Quinton
7th,
is
so
just out of 15
he's
seconds range for now.
the leading Flakka car.
Yes.
yes, that's correct.
Just like with BBP earlier on, the slower of the three drivers is actually the one ahead. Well, it's
I
going
see.
to pretty much be a triple Flakka thing pretty soon. Because there's Foss and Gavpeak on Inter. Down the Judge.
Sebastian having a hard time. That front wing
The
really
Judge
making that car
the
look like
Judge
a
can have a look
handful.
on the inside.
He's got him. He's passed him.
Well, he's got to drive.
he's got
the
his
Judge-
nose
Judge
in front rather
Judge
than
is still in
past
front.
him.
Surely Judge is going to make it first in here.
And Sebastian
No,
runs
going
wide.
over
Yeah.
the. Not really
He was
the
not gonna make that
curving,
one.
but going over the
And
heavily
he dives
damaged
on the
wing.
inside. inside, dives on the inside.
Ooh,
And
there's
just-
contact. There
and-
was contact there.
Yes.
And
We
now
was there.
Judge wheel to wheel, going up the straight. It's going to be later on the brakes, in the wet. Wall of Champions, 2 laps to go.
And yeah, you
having a
can
look
see,
at the
you
inside.
can see the others
just
to Flacco
tapping
boys
the
just
brake
getting
there,
closer and
seems-
closer.
Oh, and Muna hit the wall of champion.
Oh, there it goes. Now.
That is a big retirement. And in the,
Worst possible time.
And Force, I think, had
considering the
spin there as
championship,
well.
things have just changed in the championship. In the worst possible way.
He's off gap peak now.
And no safety car.
Yeah, because
No
we
safety
reached
car.
the limit of
no,
that.
yeah, no safety car. I
We
mean,
way
come on
past the
now.
limit of
No
safety,
safety car, obviously a safety car takes 3 laps. We only have 2 laps to go. Judge going
Ooh,
a bit
just going
sideways
wide.
there. Going very
Still
sideways,
got,
getting a bit of
still
drift,
got that lap
catching it
car,
nicely.
Springbok Gamer.
Ooh, Gav, Judge, and who is that?
Springbok Gamer. And that actually on the outside. But surely Gappy's got a lot more penalties than Judge, so Judge still should be in a better position to finish ahead.
Both of them. Now Gavin gets ahead of Springbok Gamer. Judge will be the next one to try and lap Springbok Gamer. Springbok Gamer not making it very easy.
No, Springbok Gamer doing an 80, unlapping, lapping, unlapping, lapping.
Really accelerating hard down the straight.
But that still means blue flags for Springbok Gamer. Running a risk of possible penalties.
Holding up the Judge a little bit there.
Oh,
that gap now
and
to
there he
Gavin.
goes into the wall as well.
Oh, and force with another penalty.
Springbok Gamer into the wall at turn
Luckily,
1.
still running just in wing damage.
That could actually have been avoided. That could have
It's
been
really
avoided.
the biggest difference here at TNB. Obviously, a lot of leagues out there, a lot of leagues doing F1, a lot of them doing 50%. We're doing 100%, and at the end, that last couple of laps, it's going to be
People are
really
tired.
tiring. And considering the race we've had 4, 5, I don't know how many safety cars, how many virtuals, and half a race in the rain. So mistakes
Means-
starting to creep in.
Saw a lot
Means
of,
Gamer there,
saw
just
several
Starting-
back to cars coming to lap him. Not sure why, what changed all of a sudden, why the lap cars just don't move over. Or
Oh,
time
and
penalty,
Quinton
oh,
got a
that's not going to
3-second
help his
penalty.
scores.
Yeah.
We're
So that
really not
means
gonna
Kimmy
know
in
until-
third, Boinky second, that's my winner.
Nismax will obviously win this race quite easily. Vino's down in 12th, but I think we need to maybe just have a look at that, because I've seen an X over that car
Sometime.
from majority of the race.
Obviously, you could see.
Yeah, so riding on board here with not Kimmy, and that car, Vino still showing an X.
When I retired, I was desperately trying to catch that car, because I
And
knew
that
that
car
car
so
was
far behind, I mean
disconnected.
over 3 minutes, so that also...
So car has probably been disconnected since I retired, so
yeah.
won't pick up points for
So it's
11th
only
place.
the-
We'll
no, so
just
it's only
have
the
the
top 10.
10 finishes. Top 10 finishes. Watch Sebastian missing out there in the wall of champions right at the end. 2
Not
laps
Kimi.
to go.
The start finish
Kimmy
line now,
wins.
but that's
And
not going to be race win, it's going to
things
be
will
momentarily
change.
win. Nismax comes over, there we go, Nismax will be our race win, and that is the third season.
Let's have a look. Boinkies will go over the line. He also
There we
goes
go,
into
Boinky
now
second.
second place. Quinton not far behind, going through the chicane. Kimi have that many penalties, take him a while to get over.
But Quinton is not
Yeah,
going to go, there we go.
Kimi's
Kim
gonna
stays
get.
third.
I wonder if that final 3-second penalty he picked up right at the end is what cost him the podium. Let's just ride on board with the judge as he goes over the line.
Actually,
He's going to
it was
finish in
before
7th place. Very nicely done by the judge, 7th place. We wait now for Force, also over the line.
Hey!
And he almost retired going over the line. I've done that in China, and it should have been my own one and only podium. Now we wait for Chen. He's coming over the line. He'll finish in 9th. Another finish for the
Springbok Gamer for
rookie
10th
of the
place.
season. Doing really well.
Importantly, he finishes, he still gets points, that's what matters.
I think he's attended 300% races and completed all of them. So
actually the 4th one tonight.
That's 4 in a row now, doing a good job. He finishes 9th. And I think this was his first real exposure to the wet weather in F1. There's your podium.
Yeah, just get him a
What's
podium
our flag
stuff out of the way.
flying high? It's Dirk. Spends his time in Qatar.
Mr. Carrots and then Kimi. Of course, if I say
Really
carrots, it sounds like dog.
Look at those penalties. Chen with 43 seconds worth of penalties.
There we go, just confirmation, of course, how we ended. As you can see, Nismax when Springbok Gamer weer het we end cars without penalties. Nismax taking the win with Poinky second and not Kimi third. Gafbig managed to get home in the end with Voss in 8th. Yeah, how did things turn around? Wow. If you watch the first part of the race and only come back now, just a lot. But yeah, just moving in, let's see if we can quickly get those 3 in here. And funny enough, they actually appear on my friends list just the same order they finished. Oh wow, it's just taking a bit long to send me in. It's network a bit crowded. Oh, network not the best at the moment. Oh boy. There we go. Now there should be a blue screen because I just quickly went out to invite the guys in.
So you can, if you do want to watch the Twitch stream, it is on the Twitch stream in the Discord channel itself. Just under YouTube stream.
Just wait to see if we can get them in here. Oh, there's our 3rd place guy. There we go, we got our race winner finally here, so I'm actually going to start with him. Mr. Nismax, I mean, come on, from that first corner, right in front pretty much, right there with the boys, all of a sudden you find yourself at the back. Pretty much a recovery drive, fighting your way back, but still you managed to keep it clean. One of only 2 drivers with no penalties. Then you had that late incident where we were forced coming down Casino Straight, but still that didn't deter you. You were still fighting in the end. And here we are, win number 3 for the season, and that actually solidifies your lead at the top. And what a good time to win and get that extra points to extend your lead a bit.
Yeah, no, it was a tough race. After that turn 1, I thought I'm going to be too far back to catch up with the guys, but luckily, I think a few safety car glitches through the race.
Yes, glitches.
If the guys tried, Devin, give him a break because this was one hell of a race.
Let me offered me the chance to come back, and yeah, I don't know what happened there with me and Voss. I was alongside him and he just decided to push me into the wall, so we'll just have to see what the footage say about that. But yeah, it was a tough race, but 2 in a row, I'm happy with that.
I mean, the right time to win, and I mean 3 wins, so it's you and Kimi who won the most of the races as far. Of course, with 1 for Not Sebastian and 1 for Gafbeek. So, but coming at possible time, one race to go, you're still in the lead, and now a few more points extra. That's all you want, because yeah, it's all to race for.
Yeah, no, I'm in a good position going into the last race, so just have to keep it clean and hopefully bring it home.
Tonight, just make sure no penalties, and of course, if you can, stay ahead of your closest championship rivals.
Yep, that's the plan. Yeah, I was actually also surprised that they didn't get any penalties. So
unless you get unless you get some sort of AI coming, yeah, like what we saw at 2 races ago.
Yeah, I actually thought that was going to happen again tonight. That's
Sure.
why, because Vino was in front of, Vino had a crosser through his name, and he was between, I think, me and Wazzy.
And you couldn't reclaim that car,
So,
unfortunately.
Yeah, so I just kept back and waited until Wazzy crossed the start-finish line, and then overtook him.
But yeah, so speaking of which, not Kimi here with us, of course, leading the race for majority. Also one stage down to 6th, 7th place, fighting his way back. Came the rain, all of a sudden it falls into his favor to have a 20-second lead, 20-odd second lead, just to be cut down to nothing with a safety car and still get away on those restarts more than once behind safety car. Just in the end, unfortunately, too many penalties, so you dropping down to 3rd, but I'm sure you'll still take it. Podium after all of that?
Yeah, look, after the start, I had a right start. Sat in 3rd place, and then I made a silly little mistake and I tapped the Wall of Champions. I think it was like lap 3 or 4, and I had wing damage. And from there on, I knew I'm going to be slower than everybody. So I tried to stay out and stay close, and had a few battles with the guys that was obviously a little bit quicker. When the virtual safety car came out lap 17, 16, 17, I thought, okay, it's my chance to change my wing, which I did. And I butchered it again. I cracked my wing again, and I suffered for another 10, 15 laps with that. And that's where all my penalties came from, was just physically the car understeering massively.
Believe you me, you were not alone with those massive amount of wing changes. It was several guys.
Yeah, I believe, well, in my party chat, I was in, yeah. It's a good thing the not sober racing team had probably about 50 wings ready for us, but anyway. Yeah, so then the rain came and I had a complete car with, complete wing and everything, and I thought, now it's my time to shine and make up some time. And there's a couple of instances which I thought, with the penalties I can still do this. And there was a couple of restarts that I had, and I had a more than 12, 15 second gap just to have the safety car come out again. So,
and of course, a bad call there on the flat car side for staying out on the inters, and of course, at that stage the weights were better, and you just use it to your advantage.
Yeah, look, after that restart, I saw he was on the inters, and it was belting down, and I knew if I can get past him, there's a chance that he'll hold up Nismax, because I knew Nismax won't have a lot of penalties, if any. So I thought, this is my, if I can win the race, that was the moment. And I got past, we banged wheels. I was a little bit harsh on that overtake, but I had to get past because I knew I was much quicker. So once I got past, it was like I pulled in a lap, it was about 3 seconds, and I saw Nismax was still behind him. So I thought, I can do this from here, but yeah, the safety car didn't want to play with me.
Because 20-odd seconds disappeared thanks to that safety car.
Yeah, and then the last one I knew Nismax he'll probably speak to his chef and know I've got like a zillion penalties, and he'll just keep it clean and stay behind me. So basically what I was trying to do was try to form a gap to Boinkies and try to get 2nd place, and I missed out on that by like 4/10, which is a little bit disappointing, but yeah, well, all in all, yeah, well done Nismax, good race. Very
That's
good,
Max.
guys.
I've got one question for you.
Yeah.
Is there another shoey coming along?
I don't have any alcohol left for shoes.
Gooi die euros, gooi die euros.
Guys, with only one not sober driver finishing tonight, and we have a win for BBP and a 4th place, I pretty much we'll just do the final calculations, but I pretty much, if my calculations is correct, this means BBP are our constructors champions this season.
Yeah,
So we could say the
Lekker,
constructors
lekker.
are confirmed tonight, but we still have next week for the driver.
Yeah, no, Max is in a strong position. They will really have to, you know, bottle it to say to not take the championship. But yeah,
If he can manage it like tonight, he will be fine.
No, he's a class driver and he's very intelligent, so I'm pretty sure, you know, he knows when to push and when to take it easy. And obviously, he doesn't need to win. I'm sure he wants to win, but he doesn't need to win to.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm proud of my not sober racing boys. Mannetjies.
And it's all about having fun,
Season?
all, which
Yeah,
you all
no,
had.
had a blast. Had a blast.
And of course, one thing I know both of you would happy to be here, to be hearing of. Of course, going into the next season, the first season of 2020, we will keep the points the same system as now. Of course, if we do F1 cars, we're not going to do bonus points for the 3 cars on the grid because we're going to be back to 2 cars. Of course, if we do multiplayer cars, it's going to stay exactly the same. We're just waiting for those votes. Of course, one thing we're going to introduce a driver of the day, and that person will get 5 bonus points, and that will be judged by the commentators because next season is 2 commentators in the box. So then from next season we're going to give bonus points for the driver of the day. So which brings me to this part. We're going to do a driver tonight. We're not going to give a points because this late in the season, but we're still going to give a driver of the day. And actually, as suggested on the stream, obviously we can't take a vote because, I mean, teammate after all. But both me and Dev, our driver of the day will be Nismax.
Well
Thank
done.
you. Thanks, boys.
This is
Guys?
a double shoey. Double
Yeah.
euros.
So guys, with that, thank you so much for your time. Thank you. Well rated. Was not an easy one, but well kept. Of course, things went pear-shaped. But of course, next week championship decided in Austria. Same time, same place. Guys, watching there, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Then next week, same time, same place. As I said, season finale, all race 4 still. But Nismax still the one just having a bit of advantage, but of course it's not confirmed yet. So next week's going to be an interesting
my
one.
secret weapon.
Uncle
Vice
Charles is
engineer.
back!
He's coming, baby, he's coming.
Guys, onward bombshell. Have a good night, safe, and then we see you next week. Cheerio.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.